The only show on this Football Monday that will have reality. Oh, my God. Hey, by the way, thank God most people in Philadelphia don't listen to some of the shows that are on nationally, because I think more people had an issue on how the game was played against Atlanta than the actual win yesterday versus New Orleans. More people were dumping on the Eagles today than they did after the Atlanta game. But as always, we start this program off with big sales, powered by our friends at BetUS. Please make sure you check out the website. Absolutely. And by the way, we will have truth, justice, in the Big Sills way. You know, I got to tell you, man, right out of the gate here, 18-15, it is a big win. It's a NFC conference win. You may end up running into these dudes later in the year. Superdome is a loud and very tough place to play. They gutted that out in spite of the quarterback not playing well. Defense was sensational. But again, this reminds me of the 2023 season when you guys were once again posting 10-1. Let's wait and see how this plays out. 3-game sample size, pretty up and down. And it is a great win. Yes, William, it is. Nick Sirianni's game decisions and in-game decisions, he is by far the worst head football coach in the National Football League. There's no getting around it. His desire to want to be the head coach of this team is totally getting in they win in spite of him. That team wins in spite of him. I don't give a shit what anyone says. They win in spite of him. That's how poor a coach he is. He is a fucking terrible coach with terrible indecision. I mean, 4th and 1. Bro, you lost half your fucking offensive line. And you're making dumbass decisions and aggressive decisions? Doug Peterson was an aggressive coach. This guy wings it. He wings it. Dude, they win in spite of him. Hey, personally, I don't think the quarterback's playing great ball. Let me give you a number here. And this is all courtesy of the Colin Cowherd Show. They posted us a statistic up about Jalen Hurts here. Since Shane Steichen. There it is. Since Shane Steichen, 231 quarterback passer per yards per game. 26 touchdowns, 19 picks. 88 quarterback rating. 26 turnovers, which leads the league since Steichen left. He's a turnover machine. He is an absolute turnover machine. And you know what? It's not trended out or trending in a different direction. He is a turnover machine. And that'll catch championship moments for you. Until that quarterback stops that shit, your football team will never win a significant ball game that matters. Championship quarterbacks don't turn the ball over like this. It just doesn't. We'll get more into it. It reminds me of the 23 team. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. We're going to do the takeaways here. We will have our game balls. We'll go by the numbers. Jalen Hurts has been pathetic. He has the same numbers as Daniel Jones pretty much after the first 3 games. It's not an elite quarterback. So let's get to our takeaways. $18-12. Okay? You don't get style points in the NFL, so it's okay. Doesn't matter. Hey, guys, who was in here a year ago and you see all these people posting these winning records. Remember when they were doing 10-1? How imbecile they ended up looking at the end of the year? You guys were imbeciles. Dallas has the worst defense, and the worst defense than the Eagles do. Can't stop the run. We said it from day one. Jalen won without AJ, like you asked, Lane and Smitty. Jalen Hurts didn't win that game. The players around him won that game, and we're going to get to it. I'm going to give my takeaways, and then we'll look at what you say, and we'll read all your comments. Okay? Jalen Carter was textbook dominant versus the Saints. Played with an energy. He was absolutely amazing in that football game. Textbook. Wiping off offensive linemen. They couldn't control him. Everything he did inside. And the technique work was completely different than the first two ball games. For whatever reason, maybe Vic Fangio was right when it came to giving the technique. Okay, because he was textbook in that game and textbook dominant. He played with an energy level and to the hype that I gave him that I think he could be the next Jerome Brown. Dallas Goedert saved the game. That crossing route was absolutely awesome for Dallas Goedert. He had to step up. We said, if you remember correctly, especially in the pregame show that you guys joined us on Sunday, we said that Goedert and Barkley had to be a factor in that game, and they sure were. Dallas Goedert, 10 catches, 170, a 61-yarder down the sideline. He was what everyone knows he can be. The big question will be, will he be able to keep this up consistently, week in and week out? But he was sensational. Did a great job against the secondary. I mean, he absolutely fabulous game. His best game in 2 years. Zach Bond. If you told me one bad game, two really good ball games, you take that average any day. Absolutely awesome. You know what was key? What do you think was key with Zach Bond in this game? You know the key component was? Whether it was a 52, a 61, or whether it was 34 or 43, the versatility that he showed was exceptional, and that he was a versatile guy that he could play. Mahomes has the same INTs as Jalen. I get it. He did improve after those turnovers. He stepped up in the pocket and delivered the ball to receivers. Don't ever compare Jalen Hurts to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes can throw his team out of trouble and win Super Bowls. Okay? You don't compare anybody in the league to that guy. You don't. That guy can turn the ball over, and he's still going to win Super Bowls. There's the difference. And that goes for any quarterback in the league. Nobody can be compared to that guy. Don't ever compare a quarterback in the National Football League to Mahomes. He could actually have more interceptions in a regular season than touchdown passes. You get him in a Super Bowl, he's going to beat you. So comparing Jalen Hurts to Patrick Mahomes is asinine. Jalen won that game. Not by himself, but he led him. Well, I disagree. Okay? You can have all the fan waving you want. I don't think he's playing very good football. I think he's playing exceptional football with his legs. Okay? I do. But Sills swears up and down, not to compare Hurts to garbage quarterbacks, but when we do, Mahomes is you're comparing INTs. You're comparing him to Mahomes because he's got the same numbers. You're a fucking idiot, Sills. You do it every day. Hey, Prince, fuck you too. That's the key with Zach Bond. Zach Bond was used in multiple fronts. Okay? That's the key to this whole thing, is that he's in multiple fronts, which is insane. players won the game in spite of Sirianni. I'll buy that one, Daniel, for sure. Okay? Vic Fangio did a great job. He outcoached Clint Kubiak. It wasn't close. He just absolutely cleaned his clock. Was absolutely awesome there, man. Here's the other guy, Barkley, third straight game. Saquon Barkley was sensational. That 60-plus yard run he had, the vision he has. Jesus, man. I mean, tell me he does not remind you of Shady McCoy in the way he plays. He's just spectacular. I mean, boy, some of you were saying that this guy here, hey, Sills, this is a really great sign. Boy, it's been so far. Jalen Hurts won the game with 4 starting players out. Mahomes never had 2 starting linemen, and Kelsey being out. Jalen Hurts and the team stepped up for Smitty. Whatever. Here, injuries. Lane, concussion. Smitty, concussion. Becton, arm injury. Here's my assessment. Again, a little bit of Hurts here. Gutted it out, for sure. Has issues still protecting the ball. Hey, dude, his pocket presence and his pocket pressure, I don't know. It's kind of regressed. Without a doubt. He had a moment in the game, late in the game, and they won that football game, and they gutted it out. They really did. Their defense was sensational. The stars of the game were Barkley, Goddard, and the defense. Up and down play calling a little bit with Kellen Moore. By the way, I thought that hit on Devontae Smith was a cheap shot. It looked to me like a high-low. I thought that was a high-low. What I mean by that is the guy on the bottom holds him up where the other guy comes in and cleans his clock. I personally thought that was a cheap shot. And I'm very shocked that the referees in that ball game did not call that. I thought it was a cheap shot. Okay? I mean, when I went back and kept watching it, it just looked like it was intentional. Okay? It looked like it was intentional. And it was, I thought it was helmet to helmet myself. A small Dotson sighting. I thought he showed up in that 60-yard scamper down the sidelines by Goddard. But other than that, I think it was 3 catches in the ball game, maybe 2 catches. I don't remember. I know that Hurts gave him some love. Allen had Jalen's stat line. You'd be on all fours. No, when you have Dallas Goedert and you have Devontae Smith and you have Saquon Barkley and you have an offensive line that's considered one of the top lines, you're supposed to win. Granted, these guys went out, but Allen enters the game without those guys. Boy, Sills, I would really prefer my quarterback not to hand the ball to the opponent. I know he's a character guy, but I need him to act. He gives a damn. I'm not understanding, Brian, what that reference is. Okay, give me a little bit more and I'll post it, what you're saying there, because you're talking about like the fumble, which was totally on him. The interception, they can make all the excuses. You know what's crazy? Look at all the excuses these people are making every week for the quarterback having a turnover. It's every fucking week. Oh, it's Smitty's fault. It's the play call. You got to use a better receiver and more of a big body guy. I mean, you have 26 turnovers since Steichen left. It's all added up. Zander, I missed Nick's super chat. By the way, all super chats go to the top. We appreciate you guys doing that. Please, by the way, hit the like list. I missed Nick's super chat. If you can, there we go. Is Barkley better than you thought he'd be for us? Yes. 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 Jordan Davis, sack, big game. Yes. Josh Sweat, 4 pressures. Good. Bryce Huff is a bust. He's horrible. I mean, they don't even, you know why they probably played better on defense? They didn't put his ass out there. They didn't put his ass out there. Hurts finally landed on Dallas Goedert. Dude spit on Smitty, crazy after. Hey, G-Fish, bullshit. Bullshit stuff. In my opinion, I thought that I absolutely thought it was a cheap shot on Devontae Smith. Tough guy, man. I got a lot of respect for him. Milton Williams is earning himself some money. Sirianni's trying to find a way to give ball games away. He's absolutely pathetic. I mean, he's pathetic as a coach, in-game decision maker. Just pathetic. He's worse than Rich Kotite. He's just terrible. It's unbelievable watching that guy try to make a decision. Every decision that guy makes is wrong. Trade Micah for Huff. Yeah, I'm sure the Cowboys would do that. Come on, Abe. Come on, Abe. I said it. The hit on Devontae I thought was targeting. They gritted out and toughed out a win, which will benefit them later. How about this, man? Fred Johnson and Tyler Steen, excellent job. I mean, what was one of the key factors in that ball game is that New Orleans couldn't get pressure on the quarterback. And that comes down to guys stepping up. You know, one of the things that I really enjoyed listening was hearing some of the people say, no matter if you're a first, second, or third team guy with Jeff Stoughton, he coaches you like you're a first team guy. You know how many coaches don't do that? Give JC his love. He was a game wrecker yesterday. Absolutely. Played as good a football as I've seen him play, maybe one of his absolutely best games. Remember something, though, folks. As everyone says, the NFL is a week in and week out proposition here. Can you keep that level up against the Buccaneers? You have not put back-to-back games together yet. So let's see it. Then you start going like this with trends. Okay? Reed Blankenship. You know, I know that on the postgame show, both Zander and John McMullen gave him credit. He should. Okay? He's one of those guys that's a tough replace. He's not the greatest player. He's not the worst by far. He's a solid week in and week out player, man. I mean, you know, you need to have a whole roster filled of those dudes. So give him credit. I mean, he really played well. Let's go by the numbers here now. Then we'll do game balls. For the third consecutive game here, while I agree with you, Sills, I'm over excuses for Jalen's turnovers. I will say he doesn't allow them to defeat him. True. He keeps fighting throughout the game. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Yes. At this point, I'd rather have White or Hunt on the edge over Huff. It's a great, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Clairvoyant, Nick is pathetic. His want to show he's the coach is hindering common sense. Amen. Kick the field goal. If fourth down works with analytics, he will get away with it. Absolutely, because you took the points. Absolutely true. How would you coach Jalen on seeing the field better? Move him more. Move him around more. By the way, do you guys remember, hey, Nick, was it you? Q leads the league with forced interceptions. I love it. Who asked me the question? Last Friday? Sills, How in the world do you fix a run defense? Was that you, Nick, that asked me that? Hey, Bob, was it you? Who asked me that last week? Sills, how would you fix the run defense? Remember what I said? Outnumber them. Put a 5 front up. Outnumber them. And that's exactly what they did. They outnumbered them. Anthony, you asked me that? Remember I said, hey, outnumber them. They did. They put the 5 front in and stopped the run. That's exactly what went down. He schematically stopped the run. That's a Vic Fangio move that helped. Plus, Zach Bond playing better. Absolutely. Do you think Nick is doing this on purpose to get himself fired? Danelle, no, absolutely not. Why in the world would you not want to have an $8 million a year job and the coaching record that you do have? Thank you, Anthony. Let's see here. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button here. First downs. Eagles win it 2015. Third down efficiency. Not bad. 6 of 14. Saints 6 of 13. Good job. Here's once again the third straight game in a row that you know you're doing something right. You're holding opponents under 60 plays. 55 plays to 67. Eagles had 460 yards in total offense. And you held the Saints to 219, which is an absolutely insane number in today's National Football League. Jalen Hurts deserves criticism for his turnovers. Some more excuses, but you have to give same energy for him for always finding a way to win. Yes, David, you're right. You're right. But it's kind of a 50-50 thing. David, do you agree? Then it's kind of a 50-50 thing, right? You give him a backhanded slap and then you give him a kudos. You slap him and then you give him kudos. That's inconsistency, isn't it? Isn't that inconsistency? First I give him kudos, then I slap him. You're down 3 and get the ball after the half. You have one timeout with 14 seconds. Even if you get the first down, you'd have to call timeout and kick the field goal. No sense. Absolutely. Zander, I missed that super chat after, here it is right here. David. Jalen Hurts deserves criticism. No, yeah, we got him, I believe. Do you think Nick is doing this on purpose to get himself fired? Absolutely not. I do not. Jalen Hurts deserves criticism for his turnovers. No more excuses, but you have to give him, and you're right. You totally have to give him this kudos here. Okay? You do, David. Found a way to win in the end. Trade for Clowney. Get a SHU on speed dial to help. G-Fish, you're not off. Because I think you're going to need a little bit more help as the trading deadline comes around the corner, because I don't think you're deep enough at the edge rushers. Brandon Graham's playing really good ball. Brandon Graham is playing really good football. He's a good football player. Yes, sir. I'm wrong. I thought that was a stupid. I thought that was a stupid, absolutely stupid sign. I'm wrong. Okay? Hey, Zander, make sure we send Gary Cobb a link if you can, please. Gary's ready to go at 4:30 for us. Fox 29. Passing, 288, 130. Rushing, 172. Outstanding. To 89. Rushing attempts, 25-29. Turnovers, 2. Okay? Turnovers, 2. Starting BG over Huff help fix run game. Absolutely. Remember, we were petitioning for that Brandon Graham would start. Time of possession, 32-27. Not the greatest game, but you win. It's important. Okay? It's important. I want to give you some more context a little bit here on Hurts. Please do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. Do you know that Jalen Hurts has more sacks rolling to his right than he does completions this year? If I'm a defensive coordinator, I know this. Hurts' red zone turnovers have to stop. Turnover issues. 4 TDs and 5 turnovers so far this year. I mean, I see the same team as a year ago so far. 10-1, 2-1. I don't see any difference. Now, Zander brought a point up. Last year's losing and the way they lost, do you think they can identify it more? Not with that coach. You think Nick Sirianni's a better coach this year than he was a year ago? Let's ask that question. How many people in here believe that Nick Sirianni's a better coach this year than he was a year ago? Do you? Do you believe he's a better coach? Well, shit. He's affecting the game. He's affecting the game. He did everything in his power to lose the last 2 ball games. And get this, that'll cost you when it matters most. Remember what we're doing here, folks. Remember what we're doing here. If you believe you're a Super Bowl contender and you're this close, here. Nick, team killer. Guys, let me ask you this. If you think you're close, do decisions by Nick Sirianni matter? Yes or no? If you think you're that close, do you think that matters? We're not talking about you being Dallas miles away. Hey, and by the way, remember I told you the Dallas Cowboys won't win 5 games? That Dallas Cowboy team is a train wreck. It's a train wreck. Why do people consistently think we can just trade for whomever? I know, that's crazy. I know that, David. You're right. You're right. Wish our team we have to hope our players execute and make good decisions. David, just like you saw in the Saints game. Zander, I missed the super chat after David. If we could post that up. By the way, you guys are mauling it in the first hour here on Super Chats. Hey, Sills, I know Hurts has turnover issues, but his growth has been stalled due to many circumstances. And since he throws more chances of INTs, absolutely. The Philly, yes. Up and down coaching. I know it's only 1 game, but the way the defensive line was pushing back and in the backfield all game gave me some 2022 vibes. Bearded, you should feel that way. You should feel that way. Absolutely. Absolutely feel that way. No question. Here are my game balls. Jalen Carter was Jerome Brown. It was absolutely Jerome Brown. Textbook. How come in 22, Nick stayed in his lane? Because they were winning. Jalen Carter. Textbook. Hands inside. 3 technique, 2 technique, 1 technique. Wiping across. Controlling the player in front of him. There wasn't maybe 3 times in that game where I thought the offensive lineman had control of him. He was absolutely insane great. Insane great he was in how he played. Just spectacular. Spectacular. Dallas Goedert. For all the negative things people say about him, and rightfully so, not being involved in the game plan, never being somewhere to be seen. When they needed him, he was ready, and he answered the call, and he answered the bell. 10 catches, 170. That's Gronkowski and Travis Kelce kind of shit. He was just absolutely unguardable. The Saints had no answers for Dallas Goedert. The entire ball game, they had no answers for him. He is a tough cover when he is in space and he's part of the game plan. He threatens those hash marks in the seam. There's no defending him. He outruns most linebackers, got down the sideline. He's got a nose for the end zone. When that guy's playing like that, it's impossible to defend him. The center going down for New Orleans was a huge factor. It surely was. Absolutely gave him confidence. Absolutely. Hey, Sills, better Arnold movie, Commando or Kindergarten Cop? Commando. My third is Saquon Barkley. Wow. I mean, if you're John Mara right now, you want to kill yourself. Explain the Hurts 100 to Hurts 100 wins nonsense. No sense. Explain this Hurts 100 to Hurts 100 wins, no sense. I don't get it. What do you mean there? David, help me out there on that. You're John Mara. You want to kill yourself. I mean, fuck. I'm going to make an argument on Saquon Barkley here in a minute. I mean, it's insanity. Reed Blankenship gets a game ball. Darius Slay gets a game ball. Fred Johnson and Tyler Steen get a game ball. Who thought I'd say that? Those guys get game balls. Who thought I would say that? Josh Sweat gets a game ball. Thought he played well on the edge. What a crazy game. Glad I can finally catch the show live. Thank you, Terry. This is for you, Sills, for always keeping it real and honest. Thank you, Terry. Hey, Zander, before Terry, I missed a super. There you go. I'm starting to think Tanner McKee can run the O better than Jalen. Let's not get crazy there. Not that easy to run this offense. Barkley's the best back in the NFL. He's CMC 2.0. Nick, it may have been you or someone else. I took a shit on you when you said that. I'm going to make a point. You may not be wrong, Nick. Zach Bond. He also gets a game ball. Man. That defense just stepped up, did their job, played with energy. Notice last week in the Nick blamed more, but yesterday a mistake was on. Ooh, Anthony stirring. First time I've ever seen Anthony stir the pot. Anthony. Notice last week in the Nick blamed more. But yesterday, a mistake was on him. Win's a win, but Nick's decision-making will cost them games if not kept in line. Thank God for Barkley, best player. Hey, Anthony, I'll ask you one question. How much of Nick Sirianni's decisions do you think come from upstairs in the analytic guys? And he's coaching the team based on Julian Laurie's numbers. Anthony, or Zander, I missed the super chat before Anthony. These things are coming quickly, and I appreciate it. I can't tell you. Credit to the defense. Wide receivers, no catches. Absolutely, Izzy. No question. Hurts 100 turnover, 100 win. Doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't. INTs are up because the way defenses are being played. Fat Mac, not a lie. Not a lie. I want to show you guys something here. And by the way, I'm going to get to all your takes on what you saw and your takeaways. But I got to say this to you guys. And I was going to save this topic for a little later, but I'm going to do it now. I can't wait to ask Zander this one. How many people believe that Saquon Barkley in the early part of the season is the most valuable player in the NFL? He's currently on pace for 1,989 yards rushing, 55.6 yards a carry with 23 touchdowns, 57 catches, 300 yards. That would give him a total of 2,290 total yards. 5.6. He'd have 30 total touchdowns. Can you name me a better player right now who's gotten out of the gate in the first 3 weeks? So I know it looks ugly with Hurts right now, and this is not an excuse, but how much do you contribute this to him having full autonomy now? Pre-snap. And you're saying that he's learning to go through all these responsibilities? Yes. Can it get better with more reps? Yes. 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 Is Barkley the most valuable player after 3 weeks? That's a trend. I think he is. Can you name me a better player right now in the league than Saquon Barkley? Sam Darnold? I mean, Saquon Barkley is on pace for 2,200 yards, almost 2,300 total yards, 30 touchdowns. Fuck. Are you insane? He'll be the first most valuable player if he gets and stays on that. But it is on pace for 357 in carries and 57 receptions. I mean, you're talking about a ton of volume of work here. Barkley's got to be playing the best football of his career right now. Absolutely. Hey, you may want to do this, and I have to be fair here. Listen to me here. This is going to make me want to kill myself. If Bryce Huff is a piece of shit sign and hire, the Barkley sign is worth it. He gets a pass. He gets a pass. Zander, I missed the super chat. Sorry about that, bud. They're going quick here. Please, guys, hit the like button. Sills, how about them Cowboys not looking good? Big Sills told you. Thank you guys so much for these super chats. Please hit the like button. Hey, Sam goes easy. You think being on pace for 2,300 total yards and 30 touchdowns at 5.6 a clip, you think he's not played the best football of anybody in the league? Here, let's just be candid and honest here. 3 games are a trend. Has he been the MVP in the league so far in the first 3 weeks? Yeah. The CMC couldn't win it last year. I don't think any non-quarterback will ever win it. If Barkley keeps it up, he deserves it. Well, how about this? He'll definitely clear out the Offensive Player of the Year award if he wins this. Wow. What a start to his Philadelphia Eagle career. And you want to hear something crazy? It sucks, but MVP quarterback award, Offensive Player of the Year, running back. It is, David. You're right. Let me show you something here. The Giants have neighbors now who looks like he could be somebody. Don't you think Barkley could have helped that passing game out? And how about this to show you how decision-making is shitty? Caleb Williams stinks. Justin Fields is 3-0. Not that he's killing it, but at the end of the day, he's 3-0. And if you're going to give Hurts the credit for being 2-1, finding a way to win, that guy couldn't get out of his own way in Chicago. I mean, he couldn't get out of his own way. He's now winning games. I'm talking Fields. Kaladis was worried about that boat ride, but it's got a little sweeter after yesterday. I'll say this to you, man. Saquon Barkley has been everything. I mean, I don't know how you don't give him right now the first part of the year most valuable player award. I mean, he's the best player in the NFC. Okay. Angelo will be on later in the week. He promised that he'd come on. Sills, would you rather have Barkley or McCaffrey right now? Well, McCaffrey's injured, but who's the play caller? I would probably take McCaffrey because McCaffrey also did this when he was in Carolina. Okay? Because he was in Carolina and he did it. He wasn't just doing it in San Francisco. Ronald's right. Both of them. How about this? One thing is for sure, and you guys are right on this. You're right. Barkley's never played with this kind of talent in his career, and it is impacting him. Guys, we got over 1,100 people right now on all our platforms. Please hit the like button. You're killing it. I can't thank you enough for these super chats too. We're not even at the top of the hour. Can you tell us where we are right now in the likes? I'm glad we have a bye in week 5 because Barkley will need it more than anyone on the team. It'll help him later in the year because of the usage. Absolutely, Mac. No question. Give me an honest answer. Is Nick going to last the year? He's going to last the year because they're going to win in spite of him. They're going to win in spite of him. Hey, maybe we can get to 200 by the end of the program in the first hour. That'd be great. So let's hear your guys' takeaway. I'll read them all. And look, I'll give you my closing statement on it. One thing that I will give that kid, Jalen Hurts, a ton of credit on. He makes a shitload of mistakes, but you know what? He just makes his life harder on himself holding the ball with one hand, knowing that he's been turnover prone. You know you got to hold the ball with two hands down there in the red zone. That's a mental error. If you don't like a pass and you think that pass is not suited for Devontae, audible out of it, guy. You're not a slave to the play call. You're the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. Act like it. Audible out of it. If you think that play is not conducive to make a play, you can't turn around after the fact and blame the coaching and the design of the play for the interception. It's the quarterback's responsibility to also identify that. That's what being an elite quarterback is. Sills, we don't give out first quarter of the year awards. Calm down. Your inner Eagle fan is showing. We need you to keep us down to earth. At the end of the day, dude, I'm not saying he's going to win it. I said he's playing the best football of anybody in the NFL right now. Those are facts. I missed the super chat there too, Zander, if I can get that one. Please, guys, keep the super chats coming. You guys are great. I'm not saying he's going to win it. I'm saying he's playing the best football of anybody in the league right now. That's all. Just admit it now. Before it comes out, just like P. Diddy, Philly 500 is your legitimate son. Mark Collins. We're boys for sure. Okay? I don't know if he likes Pasta Vazul like I do. Hit that like button. So, look, he wins these games. He's a 60-minute guy, like John McMullen says. Boy, I'll tell you what, man, he makes that game harder on his offense with those turnovers. He's a turnover machine right now. That's got to be cleaned up if you're going to win an NFC title or a Super Bowl. Guys, stop thinking about just trying to win a bowl game or trying to get to the postseason. You got higher expectations. Act like it. Act like it. Don't act like a team that, you know the people that post those 2-1 records or 10-1? You look like a child. You know why? That's not what it's about. What it's about is winning a Super Bowl. Because at the end of the day, no one cares what your record is. They don't put the record of the team on the Super Bowl. They don't put the record of the team on the Super Bowl unless you're undefeated. Okay, that's not what they do. Barkley might, this would be crazy here. Hen says Barkley might touch the rock over 400 times out of 1,200 offensive plays this year and pass block as well. Why is he getting a pass? Why is he getting paid less than the receivers? He's been the main reason we got two wins, 2-1. Makes it harder on defenses all year too. I don't think Jalen Hurts makes it harder with 26 turnovers since Sage Dykins left. How's that harder on him? Makes it easier on him. How about that defense, though? Ed Reed Blankenship. There you go. Let's get our good friend here, Bob Sills. Nick is a barnacle on the hull in a league built on parity. You can't have a drag like that on your team. Everything needs to hit or this won't work. Nick needs to be scraped off. He's terrible. He is an absolute cancer in that locker room that they have not cut out. The Eagles have a guy in there that tries to still hey, I know why 2023 imploded. You know why it's not imploding now early? Because of Vic and Kellen around him. That's why it's not imploding. You got quality coaches and assistant coaches around him. Last year you had guys he could push around. Okay? This year he can't. You're not gonna supersede. He superseded Kellen, though. I couldn't believe when I heard him say, I took accountability for that 4th and 1. That was mine. Why are you calling plays, Nick? What is the deal with that? Either Nick Sirianni's calling plays or Kellen Moore's calling plays. Remember I said, Nick, remember Zander, one of the things that I said, Nick's got to stay out of the way. There's a prime example of him not staying out of the way. You could tell John McMullen that. He admitted getting in the way. But because he took ownership of it, they won. That's the only reason I think he took ownership of it. I meant harder on our defense, Sills. Right. Okay, Bearded. I mean, it's going to cost you. He's absolutely going to cost you. We're going to listen, or we're going to go over what Nick and Jalen said after the ball game here too. But I want to read some of your takes. The win was on Dallas, Saquon, and the defense, but Jalen has to play better. With turnovers in the offense, has to be better with situational play calling. And situational analytics too, Samuel. They're pathetic on their analytics. John McMullen defends Nick Sirianni. How? You know how? His record. They win in spite of him. They win in spite of him. Hey, by the way, real quick, do you guys remember what I said that this was going to be a bumpy start for Jalen Hurts? Hey, you know what? Zander, I think I have to go back, and I think what I have to do is make sure that I get this right for you guys, and it lands right for you. I said before the season started that Jalen was going to have a bumpy ride in the first part as he had all these new responsibilities, and it's been bumpy, but he's winning. I'm not shocked where he is. At this point, we're not a Super Bowl team. We probably win the division, but this isn't a 13-win team with Jalen inconsistency and Nick's game decisions. True, and thank you very much for that super chat. Seals, do you think the loss to the Falcons helped Vic? Yes, I do. I think that Falcons loss gave them a lot of insight on who they are and who they're not. And by the way, something Zander said to me about the differences between 23 and 2024. Are they going to have the same mistakes and non-answers to what they didn't have a year ago? No. That's why you're not going to see long losing streaks this year. You're not going to see that. You know why? Look at what Vic Fangio did from the Atlanta game to the Saints game. It's night and day. That's coaching. There were no different personnel decisions. Putting Brandon Graham in there was was an important thing. You imagine if you're Bryce Huff now, you're a $51 million backup again, and you're back in the same role you were in New York. Situational pass rushing. 51 million bucks. He's now on the second team and a situational pass rusher. But watch this. Hey, Sills, what about Zach Bond covering that? Yeah. And the Devin White. Yeah. How's Gardner Johnson playing? Good. Good. Not great. Good. Hi, good. I'm okay. I'm okay. Quinyon Mitchell is playing as good as you can hope. Any rookie playing the second hardest position in pro football, the corner. He looks like the dude. Okay? He looks like the dude. Okay? I mean, he looks like the dude. I'm sad Howie is going to let Milton Williams walk. Milton Williams earning him some money. He had a money game. He had a money game. Okay? Thank you, Wicked. If Sirianni gets the boot and we sign Belichick, do Moore and Fangio go too? No, because you know what I would say, Wicked? Depending on how the team finishes this year, the organization is not going to allow a coach to walk out the building because why? Cliff Kingsbury wanted to become the offensive coordinator of the Eagles. Cliff Kingsbury wanted a new offensive line coach. That wasn't going to happen in Philadelphia as long as Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie owned the team and he's the GM. So Cliff Kingsbury couldn't bring his own people at certain positions. So I do not believe that. That would be a conversation. And I believe that a guy like Belichick would respect Moore and Fangio. Thoughts on Dean and Blankenship? I think Dean's playing okay. He gets turned around a lot in pass coverage. I think he's playing better against the run. The more reps he gets, the better he's looking. Okay? He's gone from being total dog shit in my world to where you're doing this. You see something here. Is he great? No. Is he good? Okay. Yeah. All right. It's not, am I signing him? No. I'll get someone else better. But I drafted him. Am I going to coach him? Yes. Am I going to see if I can get something out of this by the end of the year and he can elevate his game? Yes. Would I turn on? No. No. But I think he's a C student who was drafted to be a B+ student. That's how I see Nakobe Dean right now. He's a C student. That's better than any place he's been in his NFL career so far. Because he's been a D student, in my opinion. Now he's a C student, which means he's getting better. You can't quit on that. You got to keep giving him reps. Keep giving him reps. Okay? Carter and Davis played well. So does that help Dean? Absolutely. The line, there's no coincidence that the two defensive tackles played great, that the linebacking core played great. There's no coincidence to that. When the two defensive tackles up front get killed, the linebackers get killed. That's what happened in the Atlanta game. Although Olave made the catch, Bond was right there in the coverage. On a top receiver speaks to his versatility you mentioned earlier. Absolutely. The thing that you love about Zach Bond, you could play him in a 52. You could play him in a 61. You could play him in a 43, 34. I think that's exactly what Vic is falling in love with this thing here, is that you're looking at how this guy, without a doubt, can play in all multiple fronts. Now, let me ask you this question. Do you listen to Vic techniques and performed A+ stunts? Thank you, Abe. Absolutely. Thank you, Abe. Appreciate that. You guys are great on the Super Chats. By the way, where are we on the like list right now? You guys have been insane here. I have one question to ask. How much of Nick Sirianni's decision-making is being forced to him from upstairs? Hey, Prince, let me ask you, Prince. Let me at 237? Zander, is that right? We're at 237? Great. You guys are killing it today, and I can't thank you enough. Prince, here's what Prince says. I've watched enough games to see that Nick and upper management are holding the team back. Isaiah Devin played all the snaps during the offseason to be missing in person. F you, Sills. Hey, Prince, let me ask you this, though, brother. How much of those decision-makings in-game do you think that Nick Sirianni is being directed by upper management to make those decisions, and that's why he doesn't get criticized by the team? Folks, how many people in here believe that Nick is taking his direction from Howie Roseman and from Jeffrey Lurie on the style of play? And you have a precedent. You guys told me you won a game against Atlanta, and it was a game just like this, an 18-15 kind of game. And Doug Peterson had to go and explain himself why he won a game like that. Okay? How many people believe, Prince, do you believe that? Hunter, they love their puppy. Prince, I missed it if you said it. Do you believe, Prince, that he's getting direction from Julian Lurie, from Howie, and from the owner? Sills, all jokes aside, you could see it. The game plan doesn't change during the game. I think Prince is dead on. No, Nick is just a buffoon, area high school coach. Okay. So I think the missing piece on defense is an edge rusher. It is. It's called Brian Burns, but they didn't want to pay it. What do you think the real story is with D. White? I think he blew a gasket when they told him he wasn't starting, and he started moping, and they weren't going to have it. Seals, have you seen my LB missing Parsons? Yeah, that guy. How about this? Tank. He's over there screaming at his teammates, and he's over there screaming at his guys, and he's getting fucking run over by Derrick Henry. It's getting run over. Guys, hit that like button. You're murdering it. What a day. What a day for our show here with you. This is why I'm going to hang over here with you. We're not taking a break. You guys are crazy great. Mac, let's go over to you here. Who's making the choices to go for it on fourth down? I think he goes off that analytics page, Mac. Okay? Mac, I think he goes off the analytics page that the front office gives him, and that's why he makes those idiotic bonehead decisions. Hey, Mac, think of this for a second. Prince, how many times have we said this? That just doesn't look like a professional play caller. How are you making that decision? Every single decision that he has made in the last 3 weeks have been wrong. He hasn't coached those decisions like a we. Who's we? Hey, Nick, how about I thought that was the right call? You know, I get all the intel, and I'm like, what are you talking about? So as I asked John this morning how much of the game plan is based on analytics, Smitty's playing AJ's role. Why? By the way, John shut it down. Hey, Prince, I agree with you. I think John McMullen defending Nick Sirianni is not a good look. There's no defending that. And you know what you can say? Just like with Jalen's play, Jalen's turnovers get hid by the wins. That's what's happened here. People don't want to criticize Jalen Hurts. The wins will stop once the turnovers continue. They'll stop, just like they did a year ago. Guys, it's inevitable. Even your head coach, who's a buffoon, says this is not sustainable. He knows it. The entire organization knows it. You know, they probably feel good they went on the road and won down there at that place, but they probably come out of this going, this is not sustainable. It's not. The head coach said that. Here's Arthur again. Arthur's the same guy that was posting 10-1 last year. You're right, Arthur. You're the same team as a year ago. You're right. You're right. Hey, by the way, just for the record here, okay? Just because John McMullen and I don't agree, that don't mean I'm right. Okay? I mean, that doesn't mean I'm right here. Just a difference of opinion here. Okay? Nobody says that I have the truth serum here. I just know when I see a guy making fucked up decisions in game, it's not hard. I don't have to be a rocket scientist. Just like Prince. It's not hard to see something when you know that you need to take, especially, listen to this. So you get into a football game, you're on the road. You're on the road. You lose half your O-line. You lose your other star receiver. And Nick's making these kind of quirky decisions and being aggressive like this. What's the metric that you're going on? Is this a you thing? Or do you have an understanding and a feel for your team? You don't even have an understanding for the position on the field and field position sometimes when you make some of these bonehead calls. That guy doesn't make situational applied analytics. He just takes the analytics and runs with it, and he thinks that gives him a free hall pass to be aggressive. Those analytics are there like as a Christmas ball on a Christmas tree. They're not there to guide you. They're there to help you. And I think he takes that way over the board. And I think it's clearly clouded the judgment of the team in the direction. By the way, once again, what the hell is he doing vetoing Kellen Moore's play calling down in a critical situation? He says, I wasn't going to lie. I was also criticizing Jalen. However, I saw him stay in the pocket, realize what he was doing, and start finding people. I can't shit on that. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Hey, Prince, I said that guy would have a bumpy start, and he has. I'm not saying with more reps, he can't get better. That this was going to be a process. He's got a lot of shit on his plate. I'm not saying that. But right now, he's not playing championship football. Most important, though, found a way to win. Dude, there's no metric or no analytics that can do anything but to say that they're 2-1 and some of the decision-making in the game that hurts, but Hurts put him in poor positions at times. And if someone will go, well, Mahomes hasn't really played great. Mahomes has a track record of winning championships, multiple. My comfort level with Mahomes is different than it is with Hurts. If Patrick Mahomes throws 5 picks in a game, my comfort zone is going to be not changed with him. Jalen Hurts throws 5 picks in a game, I'm going to have a problem with that. Because he has not shown he can be a consistent ball player yet. He hasn't been a consistent ball player in 23 games. That's a fact. Or 20 games. That's where I'm at, Prince. Sills, a bit off topic of football. Is Ohtani the greatest baseball player you've ever seen? Yes. It's not close. I've never seen anything like it. And he's in a rehab year. Okay? Next year he's pitching again. He's fucking better than Babe Ruth. They should be promoting him. Major League Baseball doesn't because he's a foreign player. That guy's the greatest baseball player I've never seen anything like him. I'm a huge baseball. I've never seen anything like that. He's the best athlete ever to play. He's the best baseball player that's ever lived. 15 wins, 60 home runs, 10 RBIs. There's nothing this guy can't do. You know who he is? He's Roy Hobbs. Shohei Ohtani's Roy Hobbs. I mean, that's the real life Roy Hobbs. Unbelievable. Never seen anything like it. I think it's great for the sport too. A Japanese player broadens the specter of baseball that anybody in the world. He's the best player in the world. There's nobody better. It's like he's like right picking. He's the natural. Seals, I agree with you. Not sure why he's being aggressive because he has an analytics page. In the first half, going for it on fourth down. Then in the second half, he decides to kick a 60-yard field goal on fourth down. It doesn't match up. Absolutely. It just doesn't match up. Take the points. Always take the points on the road. No matter where it is, take the points. You never know what an injury is going to mean. You never know what's trending in a game. Look at the ups and downs in that game. How many people looked when the Saints scored late? Everyone's like, holy shit. All of a sudden, there's Goddard streaking down the sideline, 61 yards, and you're like, holy shit. The Eagles are going to steal this from them, and they did. Wait, I'll take that back. The Eagles did not steal that game. The problem was this. The Eagles dominated that football game for 50 minutes. 50 minutes, they dominated that game. I would say 10, 12 minutes, 48 minutes maybe to 12, if you want to go there, that the Saints did anything that mattered. They completely dominated. I think Jalen Carter's taking control of the defense. His team is different from last year. Our only weakness so far is the head coach and Jalen's decision-making at times. Prince, the difference why you won't have a nuclear meltdown this year is that you don't have an inexperienced Desai and you don't have an inexperienced Brian Johnson. Those coaches are going to speak up. I mean, Nick Sirianni vetoing, Kellen Moore with decision-making down in the red zone. So Kellen gets you all the way down there. Then Nick parachutes in with a shitty call. Dude, sit down and know your place. Sit down and know your fucking place, guy. Guys, please hit the like button. Has the D turned a corner? Lori, we will see next week or this weekend against Tampa. Great commentary by our fellow Kane, Greg Olson. I sat next to him in Spanish class back in the day. He's a gentleman. Really great guy. Really great guy. Really great guy. I thought he was really great too as well. Yeah, the position coaches are more experienced this year. They're not going to allow that. Sales Hurts is most likely going to take control of the offense and not listen to the head coach situational decisions making because Hurts will have more rhythm during the next few games. Yeah. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. Has he gotten better since week one? No. But he's getting more reps handling and juggling everything. He's got every dish on the table. Check it out. Pass protection, route running, audibles, progression reading, motion. He didn't have all this last year. That's a lot for a guy that wasn't trained for that. That's why I said it'd be bumpy. You're 2-1. By the way, you lose to Tampa, you're 2-2. I said you'd be 500, actually, really, going in to the bye week. Because I had, 9 wins? I upped it from 7. Okay? Let's see here. And by the way, this thing here with Zach Bond, hey, right, Prince, help me out here on this. Hey, dude, if you told me he played one shitty game and then you turned around and you're telling me he played like that in the first 3 weeks, hey, my grade for Zach Bond, we'll do that on Thursday again, as we always do. Zach Bond gets a B+ for his play so far. He gets a B+. That guy's playing great football, man. Okay? Hey, James brings this up. Where's James? Look at y'all's shit game yesterday. Was. No one will remember it was a shit game come 3 weeks from now. They'll just remember it was a win. Okay? It's a great take by Prince. Jalen's real test comes Sunday. Todd Bowles is his stepdaddy. Blitzed the shit out of him in that playoff game and made life miserable for him. Will he be ready for that? Because Tampa lost that game. Did Tampa get destroyed? Tampa got beat up in that game, didn't they? Tampa got beat up, right? Who beat Tampa up? Denver did. They went into Raymond James and beat them up. Okay? They went into Tampa. And Denver put the shellacking on them. So, yeah, I mean, that's going to be a test, to say the least. By the way, we have over almost 1,300 people on all our platforms. Please hit the like button, guys. Keep killing it. You guys are great. Thank you so much for the super chats. I can't thank you enough, man. We're killing it today. Just really great stuff. I love your takeaways here. Seals, do you agree with John McMullen's logic with the whole, if you would have been successful on those plays, we wouldn't think they were bad calls? I don't. Just because you design a play doesn't mean it'll be successful. That's what his notion is. You understand that? John McMullen's theory is, well, because I draw a play up, it's up to the player to be successful to it. Well, players are human too. It's a reason why every play doesn't work, because players are human. What you try to do is play the law of averages. Just because you draw a fucking play up doesn't mean it's a good play or it will be a successful play. Well, it's up to the player to make no shit. But I'm going to try to diminish the law of failure. Do you understand what I mean? If you're going to really use applied analytics, shouldn't you be applying plays that have a higher degree of success than a lesser degree of success? That's right. Yale goes, it's in the decision-making of the play that you're calling. Okay, get this. If you've got a 75%, John's opinion is this, a chance that has 75% chance of failure because it's a good design play versus a play that has a 25% chance of success, John thinks those are the same. He'll tell you, that's not what I think. Yes, it is. You can't have both things, John. You got to pick one. Are you going to run the play that gives you 75% more of an opportunity to succeed on the road? Half your O-line out. Your offense hasn't been scoring a lot. You don't have both your top wideouts. What play gives? Are you really going to design a play for A.J. Brown or for Devontae Smith? That's not a skill set play for Devontae. Then turn around and say we need a bigger body guy to make that play? Just because you designed the play doesn't mean it's successful with the personnel you had in there. That doesn't make sense. How does that make sense? Seriously. John McMullen's mentality is, if I draw a play up and it has 75% chance of success, and you draw a play up that's almost the same thing, but it has a 25% chance of failure, he thinks they're the same. It's up to the player to make the play. Well, no. It's up to the play caller. Have a feel for the game, where you are on the field, who's playing the best ball, who has been hot, who's been not. I'm not going to Jahan Dotson because the analytics say I'm going to the hot hand, Dallas Goedert. John said it on the postgame show. That play wasn't designed for Devontae Smith. Then why'd you fucking throw it there? Why didn't you audible out of it? That doesn't make sense. You can't have both there. Well, if I draw an out route and I got an out route versus the personnel like Patrick Surtain, whatever, versus the third team corner, what do I have a better success rate at? Challenging Surtain or challenging the third team corner? He's got to catch it. No shit. You're also taking the element of failure out as a play caller. Okay? Devontae rounded that route at the top. Still a tough throw, but Smith didn't give himself a shot at the ball. Yeah, then they turn around and say, that's my mistake. And that should have been a bigger bodied guy at the back of the end zone. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. Okay, that's not. The ball got there fast with Hurts' throw to Smith. Holy cow. He threw a pick. Stop it. You don't dissect it. He threw a pick. I thought process into situational play calling goes way beyond whether the play was successful. The dealer shows 4 and you hit 16. It's a good call, right? Even if you luck into, right, that's exactly right. Weren't the Eagle fans laughing at Dak for his INTs? How about this stat? 304. Hurts has been the most turnover quarterback since Shane Steichen left in the National Football League. He's turned the ball over more than any quarterback. Winning clouds the failure. No question. Okay? No question. Since Shane Steichen left, he has 26 touchdowns and 19 picks. I mean, I don't know. You think that's elite? Hurts should have thrown that ball. I am tired of using excuses. Shouldn't have thrown the ball. Tired of using excuses for Hurts. The turnovers need to stop, period. No excuses. Deal. Yes. Again, one more time here. You're 2-1. Let's have a come to Jesus conversation on that. Guys, please hit the like button. It's important in this, man. Not to lose sight of where you are. Okay? Really, listen. I'm here for us to do this. Should you be happy? Yeah. Are you concerned that this here has to be your biggest concern? This has got to be a consistent effort every week. Okay? Stop turning the ball over. Play great run defense. Play with that sense of energy on defense. And you have to correct that head coach. Man, is he terrible. That situational decision-making in critical moments. There's just no getting around it. Anybody in Philadelphia defending that guy, it doesn't make sense, and there's more to whatever. I don't see it. I just don't see where you think he's helping the cause and helping you win a Super Bowl. How about this? You want to hear something crazy? What's Nick Sirianni's win percentage? Somebody posted what Nick Sirianni's win percentage is. Post it. Then I'm going to ask you a question. Okay? What's his win percentage? Regular season. I want the highest number you can post. We only do milk cartons for people that he's 38-16. What does that come out to as a percentage? He's 38-16. It's insane great. Okay. Nick Sirianni's 38-16. He's 667. Thank you, Kyle. You know, John Madden, I think, has the highest at 741. Nick Sirianni has one of the highest win percentages in pro football history as a head football coach. Yale says 700. Now, I'll ask you the most important question. You ready? You think Nick Sirianni's a Super Bowl coach? A Super Bowl winning coach? You think he's a Super Bowl winning coach? Good show, Sills. What did you see from the secondary? I thought they played outstanding. It's easy to see the D-line work, but the back end was great. I agree. I completely agree with you. Zander, I missed the super chat. If you could post that up. Guys, you're killing it on the super chats today. Should have put Johnny Wilson in there and give him a chance for a jump ball like Megatron used to get it. Sirianni, 4D chess master. I'm not sure what that means. I don't play chess. And Raya says he's a great coach. I'm assuming that's what that means. So he's got one of the greatest win percentages of all time, and none of you in here think he's a Super Bowl winning coach. Yo goes, if they win, I'm good. Okay. And even you guys see it. It's not that hard. I said Super Bowl winning coach, Arthur. It's because of Hurts sales. Nick doesn't have the win percentage the players do. Coach gets credit for that. Everyone knows where the ball is going after Sirianni makes a call. Here's a great question. This is where Zander and John are clouded by the wins. But they're not wrong. I'll explain. Seals, do you think Jalen played better without AJ and Smitty because he was forced to spread the ball and let players like Goddard and Saquon be special? Yes. That's called seeing the field. Last year, he didn't see it at all. And he doesn't see it for 4 quarters. He just doesn't. But in the fourth, especially after Smitty. Here, let me ask you this. You think Jalen Hurts was a better quarterback when Smitty went off the field? In the passing game. How many people believe Jalen got better when Smitty went off the field? He did. He had to spread it around. He had to make shit happen in the passing game. Goddard became more of a factor. Barkley running the ball. Hurts taking off. He was better without a primary target. And he was not as predictable. I said to the person I was watching the game with, you watch him start to play better in the passing game with no Devontae on the field. I'm not saying that you can't have Devontae and AJ. Nobody in their right mind would not want those two on the football field. I'm just saying Hurts is going to be forced to make plays in the passing game. He got better. Why? He had to count on dudes like Dotson, Paris Campbell. He had to count on Goddard having a career game. Barkley. The O-line, new faces in the O-line. Needs to string some of those together. Take turnovers out. It'll come. More reps. More reps. The question is going to be for Jalen Hurts this. Will it be in time by the end of the year where the turnovers stop, the decision-making is in sync with everything else, and everyone's healthy? And Kellen is left alone. Nick's got to get out of the way. He's in the way. Nick Sirianni's been in the way the first 3 weeks. There's no getting around it. He's been in the way. I said that relationship between Kellen and him would be something to keep an eye on. He's in the way. I don't want to hear Nick Sirianni coming to the podium going, I overruled Kellen's call down in the red zone, and I called that stretch play. Dude, Jesus criminy. You suck as a decision-making dude in game, and you're not a good play caller, especially with an RPO player. Have you not figured that out yet? So how much of Jalen's height play a role in him being able to see the safeties? And is this something and why he needs to roll out too fast behind the big old line? Bearded, I'll tell you flat out what I'd like to see him do. I'd like to see him drop back, do something that Drew Brees and Russell Wilson did. What it did was it helped you a little bit more when it came to seeing over the offensive line. You took a 9-step drop instead of a 7-step drop. And that had a chance sometimes to help you out a little bit more on being able to do that and being able to see downfield and read the progression tree. So that could be something too. But by the way, once again, I pointed out the rolling right. You know, he has more incompletions in sack. He has more incompletions in sacks than he does completions. Rolling right. It's a trend. People know when he rolls right, he's not successful. Roll him right. You don't think Todd Bowles knows that? All right. Oh. You know, I personally didn't watch Birds 365 because I didn't want to throw up all over myself with the Nick Sirianni love. And I got to tell you, I'm not on the same side with John in this. I don't know where Zander sits, but boy, I'll tell you, Nick, in my opinion, let me ask you this. Has Nick Sirianni helped or hurt your football team in the first 3 weeks? According to John, players got to make the play. Jalen needs to learn how to throw to a receiver that's open, not only throw to someone that's open if that makes sense. It does. I missed the super chat there, Xander, and I'll bring you up here right after that last one there. Any truth to the Saints spit on Smitty? I posted that. It was a really creepy play, and it was totally a Saints move. You know, Saints are a very dirty team, and I thought that hit on Devontae Smith was dirty. I thought it was a dirty hit. I thought they high-load him. All right. Boy, with all that being said, we're going to be back to being 14 wins. Here it is. Wait a minute. The no-holes defense is back. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the co-host of Birds 365, our friend, and also the pre- and post-game man, Big Z. Zander
what up, Big Sales? Big Sales, ready? Sing it with me. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Let's go, Big Sales. That's a massive win. And by the way, you just brought it up. I didn't even think about it. I forgot I sent AAA down to the link last week, and they got the wagon for the no-holes defense all patched up and everything, and that thing traveled right down to New Orleans, baby, and had its best day on the market, baby. The no-holes defense, Big Sills, is back, baby.
What was your initial takeaway from the game, and how do you feel about it now? And especially, too, not only the game, but after the first 3 weeks.
My biggest takeaways in the game are two things. That defense, as I just mentioned, the no-holes defense really showed up, and obviously Jalen Carter was just insane in that game. You're going to watch some tape on him, Sills, that comes out this week. He was insane in that game. And my other takeaway was Jalen Hurts, man. I thought you were way too hard on Jalen Hurts today. Look, I was hard on him last week. There's already people in the chat. Zander jumped off the bandwagon. I didn't jump off shit, so don't hit me with that. Jalen Hurts yesterday loses Lane Johnson, loses Mekhi Becton. Devontae Smith went down. No A.J. Brown. My man had a tremendous game yesterday. If you take out two plays of that game, Jalen Hurts was the best quarterback in week 3 across the entire NFL, maybe with the exception of Aaron Rodgers.
He was what?
If you took out those two turnover plays,
you're right. If you take that Dallas Goedert play, what did he do in the game? He had 2 turnovers again, and he had inconsistent play throughout the entire ball game.
Man, he was 29 to 38, dude. What are you talking about?
You want to hear something? You want to hear, again, I posted this, and this is why, again, you have truth, justice, in the Big Sills way here. And I'll tell you exactly who your quarterback is. Your quarterback for since Shane Steichen, he's averaging 230 yards a game, 26 touchdowns and 19 picks. He's got a passer rating of 88, and he leads the National Football League since Shane Steichen was the offensive coordinator with 26. He turns the ball over more than any quarterback in 2 years in this league. And you're telling me he was sensational?
If you want to cherry pick stats, which
cherry
is fine,
pick is one game like you're doing.
The only quarterback in the NFL that has a better win percentage than Patrick Mahomes since 2022 is Jalen Hurts. Say what you want, the turnovers, I get it. He's got to clean it up, no doubt. It's not championship football to have 6 turnovers in 3 games. I get it. Every real Eagle fan knows that that's the truth. But if you want to break it down, the dude is a winner, Big Sills. He finds a way to win football games. Does he need to clean up some stuff? No doubt. Same with every quarterback in the league. I turned on the night game last night. I watched Patrick Mahomes throw an end zone interception right into the hands of Justin Simmons. Every quarterback does it. Who won? The Chiefs. Good point. Who won yesterday?
No. Who wins Super Bowls?
Patrick Mahomes. I get it. But I'm just saying, if you want to cherry pick stats, there's plenty of stats you can cherry pick about Jalen Hurts too that are on the positive side. Does he have to clean up the turnovers? No doubt. Yesterday, watch the film, Sills. He climbed the pocket. He spread the football around to all different receivers. He made plays when he needed to make plays, and he had 25 yards rushing. You said, I want to see a better passing game. He gave it to us. 311 yards. Take away the 60-yard play. He still got 250. No A.J. Brown, no Devontae Smith late in the game. I mean, look, I'm giving the guy credit. I called on him last week, and I said, you're the elite quarterback. I don't want to rely on Jahan Dotson. I don't want to rely on Devontae Smith. I don't want to rely on Dallas Goedert. I don't want to rely on Saquon when AJ goes down. I want to rely on you. And Jalen Hurts proved that you can rely on him yesterday with a massive win in New Orleans versus the number 1 team in the league through the first 2 weeks. Sorry. I'm giving him credit. After ripping him last week, I'm calling the spade again this week. The guy went out there and won a game for us. He had a great game yesterday.
Great.
A lot of people had great games. I thought so.
Okay. You think that was a great game, 18 points and 2 turnovers?
Well, I mean, like I said, the 2 turnovers were costly. But if you take out those 2 plays, which I get you can't do, it's an if, it shoulda, coulda, woulda situation. I get it. But
the difference between being a championship quarterback and a guy who's good.
Yeah, I mean, look.
We're not at the level any longer where you get bell-curved grades. You're talking about, are you, with an effort, good enough to beat that guy in Kansas City after the first 3 games? And the answer's freaking no. You're not. Not yet. Do I think it can get better? Look,
there's not a quarterback in the league that you can say that and compare him to Patrick Mahomes.
No shit. Well, we're all chasing him.
Even your boy Josh Allen.
No shit. We're all chasing him. But wait a minute. Here's the one difference between Allen. Allen doesn't have all these tools that you have. He goes into the game with what he had and Jalen has in that game. That's what he goes into. He goes in with Fred Johnson.
Tools yesterday.
Wait a minute. He goes into the game with Fred Johnson. He doesn't start the game with Mulata and then all of a sudden another guy, Fred Johnson, comes in. He starts the game with Fred.
You're nitpicking.
Nitpicking? It's easy. There's a ton of shit to pick.
Sills, the bottom line is I told the guy last week
10
you
and
can't
1,
make a
same as
shitty decision
2023.
late
I
in
don't
the
see any
game
different.
and turn the ball over. This week, he came out. He had a minute 57. He's got no half of his offensive line is
Guys.
gone. AJ's out. Devontae's out. And he went to march down the field and put a touchdown
Hey.
on the board, and the Eagles win the game. I
Hey,
mean, look,
guys.
I'm just giving him credit after being hard on him last week because I think it's what you got to do. I'm calling the spade a spade. The guy played great yesterday.
Hold on, guys. You know what we're doing here? Last year, this is the same kind of shit that I got last year when the Eagles started out as good as they did, and everyone was killing me, including people on my own network telling me that's not what that team is. Personally, I don't see any difference in 23 to what we see in 24. Now, I will agree with you on this, Zander. I think you won't see the dam break because of the assistant coaches that they have on the sidelines that won't allow it. A year ago, they had no answers because Nick obviously has no answers. There's no question. The one thing that was the biggest significant thing in coaching, Vic Fangio coached the pants off of Clint Kubiak. He coached the pants off that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, the difference between – and here's the difference between also Jonathan Gannon and Vic Fangio. You know, Jonathan Gannon needed to go out and get 2 defensive tackles to help his defense. You know what Vic did? He schemed it up. And he schemed it up to be able to stop the New Orleans Saints. That's coaching. That's not running to your
So you know what that defense was yesterday, right?
Yeah, they were dominant.
That was a no-holes defense, Big Sills.
Don't worry. Swiss cheese will show.
Forrest, where are you? I need
Don't
to
worry,
get that
Swiss
shirt
cheese will
back
show
into
up.
production. The no-holes defense. The defensive line was tremendous. The only guy yesterday, the only dude yesterday that deserves to be in the bullseye is you know who. Bryce Hufflepuff has not changed his nickname. He hasn't pulled himself off the milk carton. In fact, he's now lessened his snap count by almost half. He had 18 snaps yesterday.
He's back into the position he was in New York.
Yeah, he's brutal, man. Look, I don't see it with him, but look, the rest of the defense made up for. Jalen Carter was insane yesterday. I rewatched some of the condensed game last night in bed, and I just focused on Carter. Dude, the guy was literally unblockable. He was unblockable. Now, the only thing left with Carter is you got to bring that week in and week out. It can't just be when you want to, right? It has to be every week, and that's the thing that we're looking for from Carter now, but boy,
no way.
The talent
you think he's so do you think he puts that same effort against the Bucs?
Well, I'm not saying that. We'll see. But this is why
I'm trying to make a point.
Criticize them late in the game.
No. I'm trying to make a point to you here. This because it's something you hadn't seen.
Well,
I'm with you. I want to see it too.
Of his dominance. We've seen flashes. When he wants to be great, he can pretty easily.
We can't have flashes.
No, you're right. There's no doubt about that. That you're right about that. But we're talking about the game right now. The dude was dominant yesterday. He was one of the biggest reasons they won that.
That's called cherry picking. But hey, who's keeping score here?
Well, no, I mean, look, through 3 weeks, you're right. He's been inconsistent. He had a solid week 1, even though it was a shitty field, not great. Week 2, he sucked on it. He sucked on ice, and yesterday he was the Jalen Carter we need him to be. Now he's got to continue that moving forward. But I think it's good to at least see that talent is there. That talent is inside him, like we knew it was. And he's got to continue to use it. But that dude was on a mission yesterday, man. And that's why I'm not criticizing them for hollering at the psycho New Orleans fans yesterday. They had 4 dudes knocked out in that game. Not just any dudes. Devontae Smith, Lane Johnson.
Cheap shotting guys.
That's and Jalen Carter wants to say some shit, man. Go for it. I'm good with it because that's a type of fire.
I'm against shit talking.
Yeah, right. All of a sudden, everybody, Dan Sileo doesn't want to hear any shit talk. Can you imagine that? Look at this guy on a show. Can you imagine him as a defensive tackle in the league? The dude was probably a master shit talker.
With Jerome.
Hey, right. With Jerome. You were the biggest shit talker the league has seen, dude. I don't want to hear that from you.
I got it. All right. Let's move on here. Dallas Goedert and his performance.
Tremendous. I'll go as far as to say I wonder if obviously hoping that AJ is all good and he gets back and gets 100%. I wonder if there's a beautiful silver lining from him missing early in the year right now that's getting Jalen. Like I said, he climbed the pocket. He got through his progressions. He worked in, I think it was 8 different receivers got a catch yesterday. I wonder if that's it almost is a good thing where Jalen, no AJ, no Devontae out there late in the game. Jalen was forced to go through his progressions, and I wonder if, I'm not obviously not happy we lost AJ Brown. I'm just saying, I wonder if it's a good opportunity for Jalen Hurts to take that next step in the passing game and polish up, the pocket passer.
Zander, I thought he was better when Devontae was out. He
Well,
got better in the fourth
they only
quarter.
had a couple drives when Devontae was out, and they were both scoring drives. They had
I'm not saying not have those guys. That's not what I'm saying, but that's to your point. He was better in the passing game, finding Paris Campbell, finding Dotson, finding Goddard, the running of Barkley. You know what it's called? Not going to primary targets.
Yeah, and that's part of what he has to get better at, when we talk about him rolling out to the right. You know why he rolls out to the right is because his first option isn't there. So if he gets better at getting through those progressions, that's going to be a great thing for the offense as a whole, especially when you talk about when those weapons are back on the field. So I think that might be a silver lining of AJ being out. But, back to the point on Dallas Goedert, what a game. I mean, it's good to see because I was saying, look, is this guy overrated? Everybody tells me how talented Dallas Goedert is. You don't see it much.
But wait a minute, Zander. Let me stop you here. Let me stop you here. With all these guys playing great yesterday, remember something. This is a moment in time here. What you need to see is this reminds you of what these players are. It reminded you of Jalen Carter's talent. It reminded you of Dallas Goedert's talent. It reminded you of how good of a coach Jeff Stoutland is. It reminded you of all these things. And it reminded you a little bit of what Jalen does when he runs. The key to this thing here is moving forward. Are we going to see what team? The Falcon team that they played against? Or are we going to see the team that we watched yesterday dominate a Saints team in a very tough building? And hey, in New Orleans, that ain't an easy place. People get run out of that building all the time.
Yeah, no doubt. No, and look, that's a fair point. If you want to view this objectively, take off my eagle-colored glasses a little bit coming off a big Week 3 win, you're right. Because next week, it's like, what team's going to show up? If the team that just played the Saints shows up, they're going to destroy the Bucs next week. If the team that showed up on Monday night is in the building, it's going to be a long night. So, look, that's a fair point of view where they have to be more consistent. But, I'm almost okay. Like I just called out the silver lining with AJ being gone. We were 3-0 at this point last year. We went 10-1. Like, we didn't think that we sucked. We didn't realize our problems till it was too late. I mean, you saw that defense get shredded last week, have the worst run defense for the first 2 weeks in the league, and now all of a sudden they come out and they hold Alvin Kamara to like 2 yards a carry. I mean, maybe it's a good thing that you lose that game early, and it highlights where your team needs to improve, where you have to be better, what you have to fix in order to make a run late in the year. I mean, that's obviously a perfect case scenario if they learn those things. But I will say, we weren't talking about that team. How we talked about this team last Tuesday, we never had that conversation until week 14 last year.
Yep.
The only person who had the conversation was you, and you took a lot of shit for it. So, maybe it's a good thing that I think it was not only us, it was Birds 365, it was sports radio, it was inside the locker room. Everybody had that conversation.
It took Seth Joyner 13 weeks to realize the team stunk. And I'm like in week 2 going, I don't know, man. I don't see it. And this is why this Buck game this week, you got Todd Bowles. Yeah. What did he do to Jalen?
He's had Jalen's number. He's had now Jalen got him good last week or last year in the regular season, but in the 2 games that mattered the most, with the lights the brightest, Todd Bowles really handled Jalen pretty easily. So it's going to be a big game this week. Todd Bowles knows how to scheme it up. I think Todd Bowles is going to bring the pressure on him a lot, try and force him to throw the football, and Jalen has to be equipped to answer it, and I think he will. I mean, coming off of that week, I think he's finding his rhythm. I do think we easily forget, like, this is 3 weeks in a new offense, right? I mean, completely new offense. So there has to be some grace given in terms of a growing pain, in getting into that system. It's not the same coordinator as last year, Sills. I mean, Tom Brady needed time when he switched to Tampa Bay. It took him a little bit.
This is part of your Eagles accepting it.
Yeah.
No.
Sills is mad about
You're trying to make an excuse.
Sirianni's press
You're making an excuse right now for something you know the answer to. That's not an excuse when you know that that's Eagle way. You go like this to me. Wait a minute, new coordinator, new offense. Come on, Sills, you got to have some great. No, this is how you do business. You don't get grace for doing what you know you're going to do anyway. This is who you are. Hey, new coordinator, no shit. New offense, no shit. New terminology, no shit. You want to pass for that? You don't get a pass for that, John McMullen. You don't get a pass for that. I mean, this is who you, like you said, this is why the kid's been bumpy in his progressions and in his development, Zander. That's why it's a slow. Look at this. He's got a slower putt in Philly than what Josh Allen or Jordan Love or Brock Purdy or any of these other guys do. Why? He's got consistency at that position when it comes to development. He doesn't. He's never going to get it. It's just not. That's why, here, look at this. This is what Jalen Hurts is now doing. To your point, you're not wrong, really. Watch this. Okay, pass protection, setting the line, pass routes, audibles, strength, weaknesses. He's got to do all this shit, and then you start doing with injuries and shit. Then you got more of the snap count. You got play coming in your ear. He's got a ton of things now on his plate. I said it was going to be a bumpy ride out of the gate. I didn't say it wouldn't get better. The more he plays, the better will. I think But see, he's got to clean up the turnovers.
No doubt. I mean, look, that's the obvious thing, though. I mean, look, he has 6
That's
turnovers.
not Mr. Obvious.
I'm not even talking about last year. Forget that bullshit with 26 and 21. I don't give a shit about last year. We got a new team. We have 6 in 3 games. That's where I'm at. That's too many. You know, I don't give a shit, like I said, about last season. I don't give a shit about
he's second in the NFL right now in turnovers.
Forget about it. I'm talking about this season. He has 6 in 3 games. That's too many. He has 4 touchdowns. He's got to flip that a little bit. But if he plays like he played yesterday, without some of those god-awful decisions, which really wasn't a god-awful decision. I mean, the interception was, Devontae ran a shitty route, which you don't see often. And the fumble is, you know, it was almost Wentz-esque where he's scrambling in the pocket, just has no regard for the football, just holding it back here. So he's got to clean that up without a doubt, and I think he will.
Okay. I'll tell you this. If Bryce Huff blows dog, this Zach Bond guy, who the fuck is this guy? I mean, here's his value, what he did, Zander. Vic put him in a 52, 61, 43, 34 look, nickel, dime when it came to what they were doing, 3-man rush, 4-man rush, 5-man rush, and he fit into every one of them. It was really incredible to watch this guy play. I mean, you watch and you're going like this, Jesus criminy, this guy never played in New Orleans? I mean, it for all the shit Howie takes, this guy plays 17 games like this, and you get 12 really fantastic, 13 fantastic games. Is this guy on a 1-year deal?
Yeah, they're going to get him signed up pretty quick if he I don't know, maybe they won't. They let TJ Edwards walk when he had a great year, so hopefully they don't let him walk, but he is on a 1-year deal. Man. Wait, if I want to I wish I had the clip handy. I mean, if I rewind to the day that we signed Zach Bond, you were like, your defense is going to be fixed with Zach Bond.
Holy cow, wait a minute. Are you saying your defense is fixed now after one game?
Well, they had no holes yesterday, baby.
No. I asked you if you thought your defense is fixed.
I think they showed signs of getting much
better.
No.
Don't segment this, bitch. Do you think your defense is fixed?
Nothing is fixed in 1 week. So to answer your question, no. Look at Big Sills trying to play the game with me a little bit.
Zach Bond. Sileo.
Hey, Nakobe Dean's looked pretty good too in terms of aggressive tackling. Look, he's undersized, but he doesn't shy away.
Why do you think he played well? Why do you think he played well?
Because the defensive tackles played well. That's obvious. That's very obvious. That was his entire college career as well. For those who don't know, I followed Georgia. I followed all SEC football very closely. That defensive line in Georgia was insane. Obviously, Jalen Carter was on there. Jordan Davis at time was on there. That's going to help them, no doubt. But that's what they should be doing. That defensive line should be that good, man. You spend a couple first-round draft picks on those dudes. They got to play great, and they did yesterday, and it helped the whole defense. There's no surprise to that.
Yes men? We don't have yes men
here. He said
no
yes men.
That's right. We don't do that here, Sydney. That's for that bullshit you got over on the other side. No, did you hear some of the questions that Howard Munchkin was asking? Like, Nick, I know you get a lot of heat. What a total dick that Howard Munchkin has turned out to be, man. That's his new name. It's not Howard Eskin. It's Howard Munchkin. He's no longer one of the elite guys any longer. He's Howard Munchkin. I'll ask you, Nick Sirianni, your takeaways now, because my aunt even said it. I couldn't get a gosh dang word in yesterday to kind of fight my battles here when it came to Sirianni, because John went on. Wait a
Johnny
minute.
Mac put
Johnny
you back
Mac
into
went
your
on a
shell, Big
filibuster yesterday. He was on a filibuster. The Republican Party could use him on the Senate floor. He was giving me this.
Look at
He
Big
was
Sil, the
giving me
boy
this
who cried wolf.
filibuster.
Big Sil's crying wolf. Big Sil's, if you got something to say, you're a big boy.
It was like a filibuster,
Put that mic
man.
in front of your mouth and speak up if you got something to say.
Filibuster McMullen was hot yesterday.
You gotta be kidding me with that. Look at this dude. What happened? You get on a debate with somebody and you shy down?
Hey, I was just trying to be his professor because I don't want anybody to get butthurt the way I go after folks. But here, John was like, I'm going da-da, Nick is this and that. So let me ask you this. So in John's opinion, this is his approach to play calling. If there's a play that's the same design type of play, no matter where it is on the field, no matter what it is, and there's a chance, and there's a play and it's a good call, John's notion is this: well, this play has 75% chance of success or 80% chance of success. That's a good play. But he also looks at the play that has a 15% chance of success, and he thinks those two are the fucking same. The player's got to make the play.
No,
that's called Well, wait a minute. That's called situational play calling that guy doesn't have.
No, John.
Not John. I'm talking Nick.
No, and scheme team. No, we're not talking about John Clark. I don't give a shit about John Clark.
Who's
we're talking about John McMullen here.
Oh, NBC, nobody? Okay, it's all right. Go ahead.
That's not what John said. John is saying they go into the game with an aggressive mindset, whether we like it or not. That's what they're going to do. He criticized the decision today on Birds 365 at the end of the half. It was a bad decision. He was saying judging the decision to go for it versus judging the play call are two entirely different things.
Why?
If it works, I don't know. That's what he explained. He says good decisions don't guarantee good outcomes. I don't really agree with John on this. I think he's wrong. I think it's very obvious that
if I have a play that has a better
you're an
shot,
aggressive coach, Sills, that doesn't mean you're just aggressive no matter what.
Aggressive coach, everything he's done this year has been a failure when it came to those decision makings because he's going off the analytics page. My problem with Nick Sirianni is he doesn't have a feel for the game. And what was this? He's vetoing Kellen Moore's calls down in the red zone. Hey, that was mine on 4th and 1. Oh, I see. The week before, that was Kellen's when what's-his-name dropped the rock down there in the red zone. Oh, okay, guy. What are you, cherry picking? Hey, man, I mean, at the end of the day here, dude, this guy here, I haven't heard one person defend Nick Sirianni but you and Mr. Filibuster McMullen.
I didn't defend Nick. I told him
the only people I've heard.
But now I'm defending Nick. I didn't defend Nick for shit. In fact, I think he's maybe the weakest part of our entire football team, and I still have no idea what the guy does. So, and if you wait till you get off your show and you go on Twitter today and you read some of his responses in this press conference today that happened during your first hour. Not so good. You're going to have a problem with some of them. So, look, I'm not a big Nick Sirianni guy. I never have been a Nick Sirianni guy. I said they should have fired him after last season, so I haven't changed on that. But the play calling, I mean, it's obvious. Just because you're aggressive, why does that mean every situation I'm going to be aggressive? There's like you said, there's no objective. Okay, the situation here, I might be an aggressive coach, but there's no reason for me to be aggressive here. There's 14 seconds on the clock. And by the way, it's a defensive football game where points are a premium. I mean, the final score was 15-12 for crying out loud. Points were a premium yesterday. Take the damn points. But John is just saying, he combated today and he's like, I'm not defending Nick Sirianni. I'm explaining to you their decision-making process. So I get it. He views it way differently, and he doesn't even think he's defending Nick. That's not how he views it. But, it's a difference of opinion.
Let me ask you this, all kidding aside here. Do you think that guy coaches like the front office wants that game plan to be coached, and that because of the analytics, and you always hear him say, we have plays that we talk about during the week. How about you? I want to hear one guy with conviction saying, this is mine. This is what I wanted here instead of we. Do you think that is how they want them and him to be aggressive because of the talent that they do have on the team? That's his directive. I'm asking a question. I don't know, Zander. I'm asking, do you think that comes because didn't you tell me that Doug Peterson one day after an Atlanta game had to have a Monday morning meeting with the owner and the general manager because they beat him like kind of one of these games, right? Something like one of these games here. They win the game, but they still had to answer for it, why they won like that, right? And Doug's like, who cares? We won.
It's a fair point. Yeah. I mean, look, John said he doesn't know, but he also said he disagrees with the notion that it's based on analytics. So I don't know. Take for what you want.
Well, then how do you go for a 60-yard
I'm more
field
following
goal?
your side here, Sills, where it does seem like they have a lot of of the wrong suits in the room that are trying to force coaches' hands into doing things, and maybe that's a part of it. But I don't know for sure, so I can't. Speak
I don't either.
I can't speak on what they're doing inside the organization, but I will say some of the decisions are so.
Think about it, Zander. Go like this. So you go for a 60-yarder, and then you go for it on 4th and 1 here. You decide to kick a 60-yarder attempt, then you turn around and go for on 4th and 1 with a stretch play, and it doesn't work, and you're like, I mean, what's the metrics that he's using here? These analytics.
I don't know. That's why John's like, it's aggressive. He just wants to be aggressive, and I don't know.
Yeah, but Doug Peterson was aggressive in right situations. This guy just looks aggressive because he's being told.
He just goes aggressive every time. I mean,
Doug's an aggressive coach too.
But here's where I'll say, well, John is right, and he does have a good point. Like last week, we took the field goal late in the game. Remember, on 4th and 3, and then everybody's crying. Oh, why'd you take the field goal there? So it's like everybody's always going to have a problem no matter what decision he makes. So I do see it from that perspective. But the bottom line is, it's hard to think that a football coach that's been around football his whole life, that grew up in a family that's all about football, that has coached at every level of the sport, would get to that situation at the end of the first half and say, "Well, let me go for it here." Like, is he just not in his right mind in those moments? Is the adrenaline too high that he can't think straight? I don't know. It was a weird decision, without a doubt. There's no way to defend it. Look, there's no way to defend that, especially that first half one at the end of the half. That was a baloney decision. Everybody knows that knows a damn thing about football. And John said that too. I mean, he said that was a bad decision. So, but he's more has a problem with everybody criticizing the result over the process. Because the process has been, for the most part, consistent. Now, he said, judging the decision at the end of the half, I would agree that was a bad decision. So, I don't know. It does sound like he's trying to kind of protect what they tell him from the inside of the organization, and I get it. For everybody that's
I'm talking about just John's looking how he sees that he thinks if a play's designed that the player should make the play. No shit. Well, however, there's levels of success and whether or not that play, there's a reason why there's a trend chart, why that a certain team does something on 3rd and 2 versus 3rd and 3 and has a higher percentage. And you get these percentages and you see it. There's a reason that the analytics people put those percentages in your game plan. You know what they're going to run on 1st and 2nd down. There's a higher percentage of the 28% chance they're going to run a stretch play here. So what are you going to do? As a defensive player and as a defensive coordinator, you're going to prepare. Make sure you set the edges here because they're going to try to get out wide on you. That's how you build a game plan. Okay. And so, I think they have a really rough feeling for the game. And I don't think it's the coordinators. I think it's Nick. Now, I want to move you to this.
Wait, Big Sills, I got one comment for you. I never thought here managing JAKIB Sports, I never thought I'd get into the conversation that I have to quiet another talent so Big Sills could speak. I never thought that would ever come up.
No, it's my life. I didn't realize it.
Normally, it would be, I got to shut Big Sills up so I can let somebody else talk. I can't believe how the pendulum has gone. Is Johnny Mac the more dominant voice on the show? Is that what you're telling me?
Easy. I just thought I was I was being filibustered, man. I thought we were trying to get a bill across the table.
I just got a text. Somebody must be listening to our segment. Big Sills sounds like he's butthurt from the show yesterday. I said, yes, he is, man. Yes, he is.
No, I'm not. I thought it was a great show. What are you talking about?
Oh, man. Big Sills a little butthurt. He couldn't get a word. And Big Sills, use that big trap of yours and step in if you have some opinions to lay out there, brother.
Shut your hole, man. Let's go here. I got another one here for you. That's actually very funny. All right, here. Zander, I can't have been more wrong about this. First 3 weeks of the season, is there anybody playing better than Saquon Barkley?
You could
In the
make an
league.
argument. You
In
could
the
make. I was
league.
going there. That's where I was going. You could make an argument. He's the MVP of the league right now.
Yeah.
You really could. He's leading the league in rushing. I think he has. What does he have? How many
But
touchdowns?
here, let me give you the
4 or
numbers. He's
5
on
touchdowns?
pace. He's on pace for 1,989, 5.6 yards a carry, and 23 touchdowns. He's on pace for 57 catches, 300 yards receiving, and 6 touchdowns, which will give him nearly 2,300 yards in total offense and almost 30 touchdowns. Dog, I mean, you make an argument for him as great as McCaffrey was a year ago.
Yeah.
You could go like this. So far, almost in the first quarter poll of the season, Saquon Barkley's been the best player in the league.
He's
And
been.
if you're John Mara, you want to do Harry Carey.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
right
John
now.
Mara.
If you're John Mara.
Surprised. I'm surprised he hasn't already rage fired one of those dudes over in New York. Now, granted, they are in a different situation. You don't want to pay a running back first. I get that point of view, but. Man, what a player he's been. Remind everybody, we are giving away a Saquon jersey tomorrow on Birds 365. So get your memberships in, everybody. Every time he goes over 125 yards, all purpose, receiving or rushing, we are going to give away a Saquon Barkley jersey, and he did it yesterday. So we'll be giving away a Saquon jersey tomorrow for a channel member. Big Sills, I could be giving away a lot of jerseys this year, my man. I mean, I better start the budget train on getting this stuff together. For all these jerseys. We gave away the last one after week 1 because he had 125, I think he had 130 yards or so in that game. And I shipped it and it delivered on Saturday. So that was good stuff that he got the jersey right before the game. But, you know, what a player he's been so far for this football team. He's been exactly what we wanted him to be for this offense. So when you talk about a team that has a top O line,
I didn't
that's
think
got
he
their
would
quarterback.
deliver this.
I didn't either. I mean, and you talk about having the receivers, having the quarterback, having a tight end. I mean, the last piece was an elite running back. Howie made the move, and everybody's like, oh, you maybe paid too much. You don't pay that for a running back on a second contract. He has this much tread on the tires. Man, the guy looks unbelievable. And Big Sales, he's looked great as a whole. But let me zoom in real quick on that 65-yard run. Dude, he left those defensive backs they were eating his dust coming off his feet. He cooked those guys. I haven't seen that just shows you
Zander.
that he's still the elite guy that everybody thought he was coming into the draft. If you can put the burners on like that, yeah.
That's the first time since his rookie year.
Yeah, I think it was 21 miles an hour. The NFL documented it and put it up. I think it was 21 miles an hour.
Let me tell you, man, when he took off and ran, and then you know what he does great inside of traffic? Dude, he runs to non-contact. And he's elusive in there. He's got exceptional feet. I mean, dude.
21.66 miles per hour he hit on that run, dude.
That's an elite ball player.
That's pretty unbelievable to think about. I mean, think about driving your car at 22 miles an hour or go out on the road and watch a car go by you at 22 miles an hour. A human running that fast is pretty insane. And he did it in a game with all that pads on and ran away from defensive backs like they were defensive lineman. I mean, it was unbelievable. That was an unbelievable run. And by the way, that was the play after Devontae got hurt.
Yeah.
You know, they really, somebody did the breakdown. I don't have the tweet handy, but somebody did the breakdown of all the Eagles plays after Devontae went down. They really rode for their man Smitty because they went off after that. They had the Saquon touch. Goddard had a 30-yard catch and a 60-yard catch, and then Saquon had the touchdown run and they won the game. So pretty insane. Saquon is playing unbelievable right now. If he keeps this up, boy, I mean, we're going to be giving away a lot of jerseys, so I'm excited about that, though. I'd rather give them away than not give them away, especially for our great fans here and our great viewers who really make the channel
except
popular.
Prince.
No, I hope Prince is a member. Prince is a member, right? Yeah, Prince is a member, so I hope Prince wins one, honestly.
Except Prince. Shut up, Prince.
So Prince was right about I'll read it for you, Prince. So Prince was right about Saquon Sills, huh? Look at that. Look at that.
I don't remember that. Hey, by the way, keep hitting the like button. You guys are insane. Thanks, Prince, for keeping an eye on that too for us, even though you and I have a funny relationship. I don't like a man asking another man how tall he is. But anyway, do you have an issue with this one here? Heading into Tampa. Lane Johnson concussion, Smitty concussion, Mekhi Becton, injury. He got some pretty significant injuries here heading into this football game against the Buccaneers, and here's the war of attrition. I got to say this, dude. Game balls, Fred Johnson and Tyler Steen.
Yeah.
Those guys played exceptional football. Can you do it 2 weeks in a row? Injuries could play a factor heading into Tampa here.
Yeah, this is now going to be a big
Do we have any updates on that too, by the way?
I mean, the only update we have is that it looks like Britton Covey. So I think,
oh yeah, that's right. Shoulder injury.
You don't want to lose the guy, but he is probably the least consequential of the guys you're talking about when you're talking about your starting right guard, your starting right tackle, and your two top wide receivers. So he's the least consequential of them, but not completely inconsequential. So Britton will be out at least 6 weeks, I think. I mean, he broke a bone in his shoulder, so that's going to be a long hit. And then the concussions, you know how that is, Sills. I mean, that's more legislated by the NFL. So. Yep. I'll tell you what, though, I'm not a doctor, and never will I profess to be one, and never will I say I'm even smart enough to go into the room to be a doctor.
Right, and I'm not going to pretend to be one either.
No, but when you hear Lane Johnson is puking on the sidelines, and then it's from a concussion, it's not from a sickness or, I was worried he maybe had an anxiety attack. He's obviously had those issues in the past, so I was hoping that Lane was all right.
You know what that just from experience, let me just tell you what that is. You're losing your balance and you're throwing up because you've lost your balance and your equilibrium.
You're talking about concussion
like that. And that's a grade 1 concussion that's why and by the way, that means you have to be in a room that's darker room, the bright lights, the noises and all that. That's something to keep an eye on because, that's right, vertigo. And you know what that also becomes a problem? He's got a history of concussions too. So that's something to keep an eye on. And by the way, Devontae Smith's hit on his head. I'm going to say this to you. That guy is one of the toughest players on that team. For him to come out, that's also a concern for me heading into that, especially if AJ's not going to go this weekend and you don't have Britton Covey. I'm not sure what you have going against the Buccaneers in that football game against Tampa.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't have
Paris Campbell and Jahan Dotson and Johnny Wilson. It's not good, if you're not going to get any of those guys back. I will say about Devontae, that was a hard hit, man. And I don't know what Greg Olson said.
I think it was cheap.
Which part though? Because I will say,
I think it was a setup, not the hit per se.
I don't know if the defensive tackle coming back to hit him was cheap.
No. I thought that
but that's where he got the hit to the head. The hit to the head was from the defensive tackle getting back downfield.
I thought they held him up to do a high-low on him. Like they stood him up, and it gave them a chance to come in on him. Yeah. And it just looked the hit. I'm talking about the cheap shot of it being a high-low. And I saw it as soon as they said it. I went, man, they look like they set that kid up to get hit like that.
Yeah, I will say I had a major problem with the dude who jumped on top of him like at the end of the play, and you can see it. That's
why I thought it was all designed.
And then he spit on him, and I'm like, what? I didn't know if that was confirmed, but you can kind of see it in the. I just want to show you here. Let me pull up this real quick. Not that I want to watch this too many times, but I will show it.
He got crushed in this thing. Okay.
He got obliterated for sure.
Put all of them in cuffs.
Now watch.
Watch the dude. See, there was the hit. That dude. See, 98.
Did you see him holding him? Did you see him holding him? And then the other guy, look right here. Watch.
Wait, which part are you watching?
He's holding him up for the other guys to target him instead of just taking him to the ground. He's not trying to get him on the ground here. He's holding him up. See?
Boom.
Then the other guy comes
97. And then 98 jumps on top of him. And I think he's the dude who spit on him. Yeah, he spit on him right there. You can see it. So, yeah, I thought that dude was really, really, dirty. The 97, that's the dude who hit him in the head. I do think he hit him in the head. I do think you could say it was a targeting. My point was I didn't think it was intentional.
Oh, I did.
I thought you thought the dude who hit him from behind?
I thought the 97 guy was intentional.
I thought the 98 dude was more intentional, where he's clearly down the ground. He's got no helmet on, and the dude just like jumps on top of him. But
because it looked like that was planned. It looked like he held him up, knowing full well that guess what? There's a bounty that you have in your locker room.
I mean, look, like you said on the postgame show, that's football. And that's why I had no issue.
It is.
That's why I had no issue with Jalen Carter at the end of that game, or really even CJ Gardner-Johnson talking his shit. I normally am not a huge, CJ Gardner-Johnson type of shit talk type of guy, but yesterday I was all for it. When you have a game like that, and to add to your point, Trevor Penning was dirty as shit against Darius Slay. I thought he was going to carry him out of the damn stadium. And guess what? You know what the Saints did on the very next play? They went right at Keely Ringo and picked up 30+ yards. So, like you said on the postgame show, a 15-yard penalty, and I took out their best cornerback.
I took out Slay.
Exactly. So that's
I'll take
football.
The 15.
It's football, and that's why I have no problem with the Eagles answering. The way I do. But
Zander, they're a notorious dirty team.
Sills, where was the Eagles guys on the field of protecting Devontae there on that play?
I think it
97
was
walked up untouched. 98 got up untouched. I mean, if I was out on that field, I'd get ejected for that dude. But I get it. They got to keep their heads. But still, yeah, they were a dirty team. That was a physical game, Big Sills. And it goes back to the original question about the injuries. I mean, you're now in a tough spot where you have a lot of guys injured. That week 5 bye is now here in a good spot. I think you got a lot of these injuries. So
good call.
It's still an early bye. But
where are we right now on the like list? And I know we got some super chats we got to get to.
The like count.
A ton of them.
Not the list. I don't know what the like list is that Big Sills always says. It's a like count. 378.
What? 378. I want 400. Let's go, guys, because I want to end the show with 500 today.
The people are killing it today, though. And what else did you ask me?
For the super chats, because we kind of went through a bunch.
Oh, did I miss it? We missed one. Let me go to them.
We missed a couple of them here.
All right, let's go to Bigelow.
Because I think losing AJ and Devontae will be good for Jalen.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Force him to go through his progressions like it did in the fourth quarter. It surely did, Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel, we talked about that a little bit earlier in our segment. So good stuff there. Great super chat.
Steen 6'6", 325, Johnson 6'7", 320 are also big boppers. Here, how about this one here, dude?
Everybody's big on that O-line, man.
Yeah, but you know what I love to hear? I love what I hear, whether you're a second team or a first team. Stoutland coaches you the same way, and it showed. It showed in that game, okay?
Yep, no doubt.
Can you touch on how bad the Niners have been 1 and 2?
I mean, they've had their issues. But Illuminati, everybody talks about Brock Purdy sucking.
I thought he played well yesterday.
He played great. I mean, I think he had a fumble, so I didn't catch the whole game, but I started to look at some of the game tape. I mean, the dude, he threw for a lot of yards yesterday with a great completion percent. And he had no Debo, he had no Kittle, and he had no McCaffrey. Right. So, I mean, you got to keep that same energy. Yeah, you got to keep that same energy with Brock Purdy. I get it. We don't like when Jalen says he needs everything around him. Well, they say the same thing about Brock Purdy, and he's looked pretty good. I'll put it this way. He's not the reason they're 1 and 2. I'll tell you that.
No. Their defense is giving more up than what I've seen in recent time here. Any other one there, Zander? Are we good? We're all caught up.
Do we have a couple more? Just Prince talking his shit.
Take a knee, Prince.
And then Pumper. Did we get Brian Pumper? Who says Todd Bowles, Jalen Hurts is kryptonite?
Jalen's kryptonite. Expect him to throw 2 more picks. He needs to prove he can take care of ball and have ball security at this point. Can't read. I completely still agree with that. And his presence in the pocket still a little bit for me is still a little bit troubling. I thought he was better in the fourth. I did. I thought he was better in the fourth when he didn't have the primary targets out there. He looked better in the fourth. He did.
Yeah. 400 likes, by the way. Thank you, everybody in the chat. You guys are absolutely killing it today. JAKIB Nation showing out as always. I think this is the last one we might have missed. I'm not sure. You might have got this one before I came on.
Sills, do you think Mahomes could have escaped the Falcons game if he were to lose Kelsey, Rice, and 2 starting linemen? Check out the stats on Rice and Kelsey.
Fair point.
Yeah, but remember this too, Abe. He has, Rice, who are you talking about?
That's true, Abe. Rasheed Rice. He's a great player.
Rice, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown.
Yeah,
are you really going there?
They're not in the same league. No, they're not in the same league.
Kelsey, I give you. Okay. But I've seen him play without Kelsey before too, but winning championships without Kelsey, probably not. I think Kelsey's got 40 yards in total receiving yards right now, and they're 3-0. So, losing the lineman, I thought that was big. I thought losing the lineman was bigger, in my opinion, than even Devontae being out, because I couldn't believe those guys stepped up and did a job they did on that Saints defensive line, who had been playing really great ball in the first 2 games. Zander, they really did. So we're at 400.
Michael Lanigan doesn't like us big sales. Michael, enjoy the show, my brother. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for being here, getting up, going over, patting your wife on the head, scratching her ass, and then coming over here and posting that. Way to go, Michael. You show your true love for us. First thing you do
Prince,
in the morning.
Did I say fuck Prince? I didn't say fuck Prince.
I said fuck Prince.
Yeah, I didn't say.
Yeah, he didn't.
I didn't shit on you, Prince. Prince is my boy. He brings it to big sills.
Princess, how you doing? He may have gotten Barkley right. That may have been him. I don't know. Zach Bond had some stops yesterday. I see him becoming the next TJ Edwards. Pump the brakes, but it looks good. He's out. He's out. Hey, Prince, shut up. Okay, you don't get any more loves. Where are we in that like list now?
406, baby. They're cooking with gas over there on the like list.
All right. Well, hey, Gary Cobb at 4:30.
Yep, I got him. Don't worry.
Okay, so we're gonna do that here. I got to take a timeout, man. You know why? Standing up and listening to all you Eagle fans has made me a little tiresome. Holy cow! Listening to Zander, no holes defense is back.
Wait,
boy?
Where was the hole yesterday on defense? I must have missed it.
Did you see Jalen Hurts too, man? He was back there, man. This guy looked like he was Michael Vick reincarnated, man, but better. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Don't worry, the Bucks are coming.
We'll see. We'll see. I want to shameless.
Oh, look at that. We'll see. All right.
We'll see. I want to give myself a shameless plug before I get out of here. Everybody that's enjoyed the work here on JAKIB Sports, we appreciate you. I launched a new Twitter where I'm going to be logging all of my work with the Eagles, covering the Eagles.
So that is you.
Here. Yeah, that's Real Zander, at Real Zander.
Right.
That's me on Twitter. So make sure you guys go give me a follow. It's at Real Zander, my name. So thank you. For anybody that reaches out. I have a lot of you guys that DM me and stuff. So I appreciate all you guys. There's the at there, at Real Zander. So go check me out on Twitter. Drop me a follow, everybody. Appreciate that very much.
Except you, Prince. Just remember, Prince, except you. All right, Zander. You tell that filibuster, John McMullen, man, that it won't be that easy next time there on Sunday when we do the pre- and post-game show. You know, I was being, you know what, folks? I said, I'm going to be nice because I'm sure John hears, because what does he call me? He calls me like a gaslight guy, or what is it, like a shock jock or some shit like that. So, I thought I'd hold a little bit.
I can't believe it, man. I can't.
I'm not moaning. I'm not crying.
Dude, you're moaning. You even brought your lovely aunt.
I blame my aunt then. My aunt's in this room here.
I blame you. Your aunt was on
her.
The show. And your aunt knows better than anybody. You're a loudmouth. The fact that you're saying that you're crying wolf after the fact.
Crying.
If you got something to say to Johnny Mac on the post-game show, step your ass in, Big Sal.
Dude, he was doing a filibuster. Seriously, man. I thought he was trying to get a bridge made. I mean, holy shit. I mean, I know the Baltimore bridge is out, but shit, John, you don't need 2 days to do a filibuster to get that bridge built.
Never did I ever think I'd have to work hard to silence somebody so Big Sills can speak. I never thought I'd ever have to say that in life. I need to shut someone up so Dan can talk.
That's not true. That's totally not true. That's not true. Hey, I throw massive love to John. Just Jesus Christ, when he come up for air, man. This guy had a snorkel mask on. And he was wearing like that whole this guy had like air tanks on, and that was
Let me get a butt hurt in the chat. Everybody give me a butt hurt in the chat if you think Big Smalls is butt hurt about Johnny Mac yesterday.
Okay, no. I was just trying to, just like Shaq says, it don't go 1, 1, 2, back to 1. It goes 1, 2, 1, back to 1. I mean, sorry, Aunt Betty. Don't say anything, Betty, because they'll know who it's you. Yeah, she's the one that went, John McMullen's getting too much airtime.
Aunt Betty, Big Shows can talk with the best of them. There's no doubt about it. If he needs to step in, you got to use that big trap and do it.
That's it. I'm going all ass in this weekend, man. You better win that game against the Buccaneers, man, or I'm going to be unbearable. I'm already unbearable.
Yeah, I don't think you can join a pre- and post-game show for Eagles Bucks with a Buccaneer banner hanging in your background.
Well, what do you want me to do? I played there, that's kind of what it is.
Oh, I'm gonna order you the Jalen Hurts jersey and the Eagles pennant for when they win.
No, just not a good.
For when they win 10 games and it's hanging on your wall.
You better save your money for them Barkley jerseys, Sonny boy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We're gonna be giving away a lot of them. So get your memberships in, everybody. Appreciate everybody.
Flexing, you backstabbing, giving Big Sills a snowflake. How dare you? Flex?
Look at all the snowflakes coming in for Big Sills.
Samuel, Abe.
I love it.
I
Prince,
feel so
I love it. Senor brings it in. I love it. El Yepa.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Look at this, dude.
Oh my God. Now I'm gonna
There you go. Scheme team rides for Big Sills.
There you go. All right. Sills wrong again. Loser. Hey, J-Bone, thanks for being here. We appreciate the algorithm. How you doing? Hey, Zander.
Mike, I don't think we missed the super chat, brother. Mike says we missed the super chat. Let me just make sure we get them all. Yeah, no, we got NJ Fishing who said sorry to Aunt Betty. Aunt Betty, hope you're watching, enjoying the show.
She is. I can't tell you who she is. All right. Xander knows. Okay.
I don't think I do.
What?
I don't think I do.
Here.
I think I got an idea, but I don't think I do.
Okay, hold on. I'll tell you who it is. Then I'll take a time.
I wonder if Aunt Betty's. I mean, she's mad at McMullen. Aunt Betty might be
pissed
at me.
She's mad at
I've
McMullen.
been bringing the heat on Big Sills for a couple of weeks now. She might be pissed at me. I might catch myself in the Aunt Betty crosshair.
No, she thinks you're doing great. She goes, McMullen, Jesus, Griminy. A little too much airtime for him.
All right, good stuff, Big Sills. I'm going to get out of here. Gary Cobb's coming up.
You got it, man. Gary Cobb, bottom of the hour. Do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Xander, thank you, brother.
Thank you, Big Sills. Hit me with that follow, everybody, at Real Xander. Thank you, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow on Birds 365.
Absolutely. And you keep it here and do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Keep it here, National Football Show.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Score and save in southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, Birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer three major services, the first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Heading down the shore. Have a ball once more.
Here, imaginations run wild and time stands still. Because here, you can find the best of the Jersey Shore, all on one 5-mile island. So leave the old you behind and get lost in the woods.
Wild, 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 we're gay.
Plan your stay in the Wildwoods today.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Big crowd in here today, over 1,300 folks on all platforms. We appreciate it. So you guys know where to come each and every single Monday. Angelo Cataldi will join us later in the week. He took a group of Eagle fans down in New Orleans, and he said they're staying over a little bit, so they're going to come back, and they'll be back later in the week. So he promised that he'll come on and give his takeaways there. But so I just read that Rich Kotai Sirianni refused to answer here at the press conference today. Let me get it right. Sirianni declines to go into depth about his decision on fourth down, other than to say they are made because he thinks it's what's best for the team at the time. Remember what one thing I told you at the beginning of the year? Will Sirianni get in the way of Kellen Moore and how that dynamic will work? I think Nick Sirianni in the first 3 games has done everything he could to help that team lose. His decision-making with the analytics in that have been atrocious. By the way, why are you vetoing Kellen Moore's decision-making down in the most important part of the field, the red zone? That's where they've had issues. You lose half your O-line. Think about it. Before I get Gary Cobb on, Gary's coming up here. If you lose half your O-line, you lose both your star receivers, you're on the road in New Orleans. Everyone knows. I don't care what the record New Orleans has. When you play them in that barn, it's the loudest place in the National Football League. That's a tough-ass place to get a win, okay? And I'm looking at, quite frankly, over the first 3 weeks, Gary and I will go, that's how you build a game plan. It's a great win. Don't get it twisted here. With all that being said, Sirianni doesn't want to go into detail why he decided to go for it on fourth, but then I wonder what his decision was when he went for the 60-yard field goal. It's just not adding up. Let's get Gary Cobb in here. Guy who's been on the field and been in situations. Let me start with Nick with you. Wait, Gary, let's start with the good. Your takeaway. Hey, your takeaways from the game.
Well, I thought the Eagles, they showed a lot of heart. I mean, even though you had these negative things defensively, come on. Jalen Carter, dude, that's what I'm talking about. He was coming. You had Davis. This is the reason you guys were drafted number 1. This is what we want to see. Now, you're not going to be maybe as effective each week, but this is the kind of fire that you need to play with. They were playing determined because they had been embarrassed. They had been embarrassed, and they went down there with a chip on their shoulder, and that's the way you're supposed to show up to play. These guys are playing at the level, of their talent. And Jalen Carter is a special player. He was showing it. He was giving them trouble with everything, regardless of how they tried to block him. He was coming every time. I mean, they were playing with the kind of passion that you want to see. And I got to take my hat off because the defense, come on. The defense showed up the first 2 weeks. Come on. It was horrible. Just running through them and everything. But you had those guys playing with some passion. And a lot of it was the big boys up front. You saw a pass rush. That's the way you're supposed to show up to play. That's got to be every week. Now, you might not be as effective on everything, but you're playing with, where after the game, the guys you played against, these dudes was playing, man. But before that, you can't be just going through the motions, man. Come on. And so that's what was the biggest change, because if they hadn't got that, if New Orleans had been able to run on them like they've been able to run on everybody else, come on. Eagles would have got blown out. And then with the help of Nick, with some of the stupid stuff, man, what are you doing? Anyway, I'll get into that. But
hey, Gary, I mean, just to emphasize what you said about the defense, man, I mean, were you shocked that it wasn't really a personnel except for one thing? how important was it to bench Bryce Huff and put Brandon Graham out there on the edge?
Yeah, you're right.
To me, that looked like the entire difference of the football front four was the fact that they put Huff, and get this, Bryce Huff is back to being in the position he was when he was in New York, getting the less amount of reps, put him in situationals for him to get a shot, but he's been non-existent. But how important was that move that Vic made by putting him out there on the edge?
It was very important. And, Brandon came and he was having an effect on the game. He was having an effect on the passer. And, clearly Derek Carr showed up, man. Derek Carr was not comfortable. They didn't let him get comfortable.
Yeah.
And come on, that's the way you're supposed to play defensively, is you let the quarterback, and you're talking to him during the game anyway. You let them know, look, get used to this, dude. We're going to be showing up every play. There are going to be guys coming from everywhere. You got guys down there, your legs, guys grab. That's the way. You don't let the quarterback get comfortable. He's in his house. He was not comfortable. You see the way he went through the whole game. He was rushing passes. They never let him get comfortable. And that's the difference in those previous games. New Orleans had run the ball very effectively. Carr was back there patting the ball. He got no pressure on him. And most quarterbacks, only the great ones are able to play under that pressure and still be effective. Most quarterbacks, they cannot take that type of heat. And you see, he was not the same quarterback. And really the difference in the game, if the Eagles' defensive line had played the way they played on the first 2 weeks, they would be, 1-2. It wouldn't even been close. They would have been 1-2 because the way the offense was struggling with some of its issues. But because they showed up and specifically that defensive line, and they came out and they refused to be blocked. They came in with an attitude, and that's the way they got to show up every week. I don't know what it is. Maybe I need to check what they ate before the game. I don't, or who knows? Maybe they got some wind too. Maybe they got to some of their significant others and told them, look, we're going to have some bad news because folks is going to be out of work.
Hey, them checks ain't going to be direct deposited every Tuesday. If we don't turn this thing around, them wives probably got in their asses going, you better get out there and play your ass off, because somebody got to somebody.
Somebody got to somebody, They got the message through, and that's the way they got to show up. Now, I've seen that out of Carter, but this is the first time we saw this out of Davis.
Yeah.
With him coming like that. I mean, and the big fella shows, come on. You think he liked the big fella landing on him like that? Come on. Carr was saying, hey, man, what quarter are we in?
Yeah. That wasn't. Yeah, you don't want that shit on you here. Hey, let me get the Hurts here. I want to ask you about this here. So here's a stat about Jalen Hurts since Shane Steichen's no longer been in the coordinator's room here. Since Shane Steichen, he's averaged 231 yards a game. His touchdown to interceptions are 26 touchdown passes, 19 interceptions. His passer rating is 88. His giveaways are 26, which leads the National Football League since Shane was the offensive coordinator. I know he gutted it out, and I know he played. There was a lot of injuries in that game. There were a lot of positives that you could take away.
Yeah.
But so far, do me this. Give me what you saw yesterday and tell me how you think he's playing so far in the first 3 weeks, because, boy, I'll tell you what, you're second in the NFL right now to Will Levis when it comes to turnovers. You're tied with Anthony Richardson for turnovers in the league right now. I mean, this is not, like Nick said today at the press conference, it's not sustainable.
It's unacceptable. You're not going to win. You're going to be home. You won't even make the playoffs. You keep on turning the ball over like this because
they'll catch up.
Next to the score of the game, the number of turnovers, who wins the turnover battle is the closest thing to telling you who wins the game. Next to the score, the turnover battle. So they've gotten away with it. Come on, they got 2 games that they have won and they lost the turnover battle. They cannot expect that's going to happen. And the big thing Jalen's got to do is look. Now that throw down in the end zone, some people are saying, hey, Devontae should have protected it. Yeah, he should. But still, he's covered. Okay, I mean, he was covered. He wasn't open, you know. So, and maybe you throw that with AJ, you know. But of course, AJ earlier in the season he slipped. You know, come on, we can't be taking that kind of chance when we already got 3 points. You know, we don't need to be just throwing it up. Now, if it's the kind of ball where you're putting it up high, and you got a big guy like AJ, and it's up in the corner, and he's running, you know, and both of them going to fight for the ball, that ball's not going to be picked off normally. But if you got a situation where a guy is, you know, he's got his feet set, meaning the DB is looking this way, it's very easy for him to break in front of the receiver. You can't make that throw. And then, of course, the other play where he's carrying the ball with one hand, come on. He knows he's not supposed to be doing that. You can't have that ball in one hand like that, because if somebody does come, a defensive lineman is going to get that ball out. So he's capable of playing better, but he cannot turn the ball. He knows better than that, you know, and he knows he's got to do that. I thought he did some good things in the game. They executed some good plays. He's getting the ball, you know. I mean, Dallas got it. Oh, man, wow. I didn't even know was he still on the team?
Hey, 10 catches, 170. I mean, you're talking Gronk stuff here.
Now, see, this is the thing that I wanted to say before, is that, like, before the game, you got to have the coach, and this should be well before the game. Look, we are not the same team without A.J. Brown, okay? We're not the same team. We're not going to be up and down the field. That's not what we're expecting. We want to go into the game because we are not full strength. So if we don't have him, okay, we're playing differently. We are going to take 3 points when we got 3 points. Come on, man. We're not the same team. Now, maybe even though I wouldn't like it with J.J. Brown too. But if we got A.J. Brown, we're looking at it. You know what? We expect we're going 35 to 40 points every game when we're full strength. We're not full strength, dude.
And you lost half your old line.
And you lost half your whole line. Come on, man. You're going like, dude, what are you? Is he smoking something over there, man? Did he come in and get a draft with some of the people at, let's say, a certain part of the stadium that were over there getting full?
How dare you, Gary Cobb, indict the Saints fans?
Hey,
oh no, I've smelled it in there before too. I get it. I know what the Superdome smells like.
Hey, some of them he was walking in, and some of the fans were over there getting full. You know, and they wonder why they up there smiling. I mean, what is? I mean, and at the half, what are you doing? You don't take the 3. No, we want to get 2 shots to throw the ball in the end zone. Meaning, like, they're not on the 1-yard line. We're on like the 12-yard line, and you're not going to take the 3. Hey, coach, dude, I don't know. Either it's something you're smoking, something you're inhaling, some kind of medicine you're taking. You need to get off that medicine. Because, come on, Hall of Fame coaches, come on. You show me one that would have done that.
On the road.
I mean,
in that place.
We got nothing. We don't have any points. We could at least tie the game. We see this is going to be a defensive struggle. And we won't take 3 points.
Gary, let me ask you this. How much do you think that the direction of ownership and the general manager plays into his aggressiveness? Because I asked this, Doug had the battle winning games just like that, 18-15, going and having these crazy Monday meetings why they won a game like that. And then you just look, when I look at, they don't use applied analytics. They just use analytics and think that that's the way to go. And I'm looking at that. It's like not having a feel for the game and the over aggressiveness. Doug Peterson's an aggressive coach, but Nick looks like a reckless aggressive coach. Am I wrong when I say that? That he just looks reckless.
Your defense, I mean, you go into the game, your defense is playing well. You know, you're down 3-0. You tie the game. You know, because pretty much you're thinking, from what you saw in the first half, you're probably thinking, I don't think either one of us is going to get to 20. You're thinking that way. So, it's a low-scoring game. You take the 3 points. Now, I don't know what kind of explanation he could sit down and look me in a straight face and explain to me how he could not take the 3. You know, and then your team goes in there totally, you know, discouraged, running into the locker room because you decided, no, we're not going to take the 3 and tied the game up.
And he was asked the question. He was asked the question at the presser today, and he goes, I refuse to answer it, so I'm just going to move on from it.
You know what? Hey, the guys bailed him out. See, now he was talking that team stuff. Now, I do agree with you.
Hey, wait a minute. See, wait a minute. Hey, I listened to that shit too. And Gary saw, hey, you know, Coach, I got your back. Coach,
right.
I was like this. Holy shit, is this guy in I went just like this, Gary. Holy shit, is that guy in trouble?
Hey,
you
know the boys go. Who was over there telling them I got your back? We got your
who
back.
Said that? Who said that? Who said? I would ask them guys if they actually said that, because when he goes,
his back.
Hey, you know, not all my decisions are the right decisions, but you know what I really get? I get a pat on the back from the guys telling me, hey, Coach, I got you. I was like this. This guy, hey, Gary, it's like Stanford High versus Trumbull. I mean, I felt like I was watching an FCAC game listening to a coach do a halftime speech. Holy shit, that was Harry High School.
I mean, can you believe that? I'm going like, you know, where I was looking at the game, that, you know, because I'm doing this appearance, I'm over here like, I don't need to get in there acting stupid in front of these people, you know. If all these people came in there to meet me and stuff, I'm going like, are you kidding me? You are not going to kick. And then, you know, all this razzle dazzle and stuff. I'm going like, man, come on, man. What are you doing?
Hey, I couldn't believe that press conference. I thought of you.
Is this pro football? Pro football, man.
Oh, my God, man. I was with you here. Gary, I got to ask you this one here. Listen to this here. Check it out.
Yeah.
So this guy Barkley's on pace for 1,989 yards rushing, 55.6 yards a carry. He's on pace for 23 touchdowns. He's also on pace for 57 catches for 350 yards and 6 touchdowns. So in theory, he's on pace for 2,400 total yards and 30 touchdowns at 5.6 a carry. Hey, you know what? I didn't know what this sign was going to be. The question mark will be, can he hold up with the volume of touches that he's doing right now in the first 3 weeks? But, boy, I'll tell you what. Is he not the best player in the league right now in the first 3 games of the year?
I'll tell you, you know, I'm not really surprised. I'm not really that surprised because
best player in the league. I'm not saying on the team.
Yeah, with what I saw of him before, I'm going like, this dude is. I knew he was going to have a big year down here, because I'm going like, defensively, just in looking at things he did with the way he was up there, is that they have 3 guys responsible for him like on every play when he's up in New York, you know. But just in seeing his ability, that he's a very difficult one-on-one matchup. I don't care who it is with. As with a guy who's 4.4, 4.3 type speed, and you know, hey, come on, you know, there are times I had a guy like that. I'm telling that, hey, telling that safety, dude, you have better be looking over here at me, man, because this dude turns up. You have better be over there. I'll tell him right in the huddle, hey, look, you see who?
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody. There's no linebackers can really match up with him man to man like that because of speed. But the thing is, if you see him and you meet him and you're talking to him, you look how big the dude is. You go, man, look at this dude, man. He's a big back with that type of speed. And the thing that I don't think that they have really tapped into everything with the talent the Eagles have offensively. Now they got some guys hurt, but if they could utilize and utilize all the talent they have, get A.J. Brown back out there, get Devontae, get them all back out there. I don't care what defense they play. The defense is in a tough situation because you add him to these other guys that are physical specimens. I mean, A.J., man, you meet him. Is this dude playing linebacker? This dude is a wide receiver. You know, with the way he is built, he's got a – there's nobody that matches up well with them. And that's the way AJ is. AJ is much like, I mean, AJ and Saquon are much the same. Guys that are just physical freaks that normally they would not be playing the position they're playing. They're big for their position, and they've got, breakaway speed. So you add the two, they're a very difficult matchup. I don't care who it is. It's a difficult matchup. So if they utilize the talent they have, the Eagles are going to be very tough to stop offensively, as long as they take care of the ball. And that's why with Jalen, you don't have to force stuff. Yeah. Now, I know he was looking to, especially get down the red zone, man. You cannot be throwing interceptions in the end zone, Jalen. Come on, man. Dude, you're forcing the ball. You're forcing something. The guys are not open. If it's a kind of ball where
take
it's
the high percentage plays. That's the
man.
one thing he doesn't do very well, Gary.
Can't do that.
He doesn't take he takes the riskier play than the sure play, and he doesn't believe in. It's kind of a hero ball a little bit, and like Brady never took the big play. He took the play that was going to be the most successful play because he feels that the most successful plays will add up in the end versus those high percentage losses. And I think that's the one thing he still has to learn, Gary.
And Jalen's got to learn that I know they've been very fortunate. I know they've been very fortunate. They won those 2 games, but going forward, you can't expect to win those games. Don't force it. This team has got so much talent, and let them get healthy. And I tell you, teams are good defensively. It got a problem with Saquon Barkley. You cannot call a defense that's going to stop him, stop AJ, stop all of them. There's no defense that's going to be strong against all of that. So the defense is in a quandary. All they got to do is attack them, and it's very tough because both of those guys are physical specimens at their position. Very unique that you have guys this big and strong and fast all together.
2 last questions for you. By the way, folks, in honor of Gary Cobb, okay, Black Knights right here, Black Knights football right here.
Yeah,
my former Paisan or my Paisan friend is the head football coach down there now, Donnie. So he coached Catholic High. We don't have Catholic High any longer, so I'm officially a Black Knight guy. My father played for the Black Knights, so I follow Stanford High football. So I'm all over Stanford High. I've got the hats, I've got all the shirts and everything. So I'm officially a Craig Bingham, Gary Cobb.
Okay. All right.
You can go down the list of all the great players that have played there at Boyle Stadium. By the way, one of my favorite stadiums ever to play a game. They play the FCAC championship game. Let me get these last 2 ones here for you, Gary. Boy, I'll tell you what, heading into Tampa, and you know this as well as I do. I told people in our pre and post game or our post game show, I've only seen this about 4 times. When you got a guy vomiting because of concussions, that's usually a grade 1. They grade them like this, 1, 2, and 3, and that gives you the level of the protocol of how long you're going to be in that protocol. And to me, that looked like a serious, when you're talking about a guy, sunlight is a problem for you, your vertigo's off, that's an issue. Then the one on Devontae, then you got Beckham being injured. You had a bunch of people out there. Then Devontae Smith also. I mean, now you're looking at the war of attrition heading into Tampa, man. I mean, this could play a factor going into Tampa here because you may not have, get this, if you don't have AJ and you don't have Devontae, you're lining up Jahan Dotson, Paris Campbell, and you lose Covey too. He's out for 6 weeks. I mean, you're talking about Johnny Wilson. That's how you're going to attack a Todd Bowles defense.
Well, they got their work cut out for them. And, Todd Bowles is very good at, putting pressure on a offense and being aggressive against them and attacking them with blitzes and everything. So they've got their work cut out for them. I was thinking, saying it's great they won this game and everything, but right away I started thinking about what you're saying, which is like how many guys did they lose in this game? I mean, hopefully, AJ will be able to get back. They need him back. Hopefully he'll be able to play because right away bringing him back, bring another weapon in there. But they definitely need these guys to come back quickly. I don't know that.
Would you run more 2 tight end set? I like that, Dave. Would you run 2 more tight end set if you don't have?
I probably. Yeah, I think I would.
Devontae, you run 2 tight ends.
I think I would do that because
Alcantara did a pretty nice job this last game.
I think I would do that, and even if they end up bringing back, one of the tight ends they've had before, because, he's not the best blocker.
Yeah,
he's not the best blocker. But the thing is, I think I would definitely do that because, that's where you want to do. They need to be able to run the ball, and they got to feel like we think we can run the ball against anybody. And then you go play action pass off of that. But the big thing is, again, you start thinking you're not all the way at full strength. So you come into the game figuring you're going to play a game that's going to be a close game, just like the last 2 games they played. So they got to take care of the football. Jalen, take care of the football, and we got to play smart, and we got to take advantage of our opportunities. But we definitely got to do a much better job of taking care of the football, or that's going to be the key to us winning. But we think we can go down there and we can beat Tampa Bay. There's no reason we can't. We beat New Orleans, we can beat Tampa Bay too, but we got to play smart. And that same defense we got to take that same defense down there.
How about this, Gary? Finally here.
Mm-hmm.
Vic Fangio earned his money, bud. Let me tell you.
Yes, he did.
I'll tell you who else did.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Stoutland with Fred Johnson,
yeah,
Tyler Steen.
I'm telling you.
Those 2 roll in there. I'll tell you, I thought one of the keys of the game was that the front 4 of the Saints couldn't get pressure on Hurts late in the game. Those 2 guys walked right in there, and there was no drop-off whatsoever when those guys were in there. And they did one. Now, I'm not assuming, and I'm not suggesting in any way you can put back-to-back games like that together, but they stepped in a heated moment and in a needed moment, and they excelled. That was great coaching by Jeff Stoutland and that organization.
Well, I tell you, Jeff Stoutland, just for being out there at practice and seeing the way he works those guys and the way he challenges them and he treats the backups. He has them go in there. You can see he's working them just like they're starters. And putting the same demands on them. I think he's the best offensive line coach I've been around. The way, see the way he works and the way he gets the production out of those guys, the way he can send them in, and he's confident they can go in there and do the job. I tell you, they came through there, boy, because, you look up and you see you got starters out of the game early. You
Cam Jordan's in there. I mean, you got some good ball players in there.
I mean, they did a great job. I mean, they did a great job. And, you expect to see, Jalen running for his life the whole game, and it wasn't like that. So you got to take your hat off to him for the job he did. But I tell you what, he needs to talk to his boss, because we need him. We need him to, maybe he need to go have a talk with himself or something. He needs to talk to somebody, or maybe Howard needs to talk to him. Because you don't have to win the game. You just got to let these guys win the game. The players got to ultimately win the game. Trying, fancy dancy stuff. Come on. Let's play solid football. We could tie a game going into halftime. We tied the game. We kicked the field goal.
He's terrible.
Come on, man.
He's terrible. Hey, I have to ask you one last one here.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you buying Zach Bond or are you not? Is he really that guy? Because, look, he sucked out loud. Now, again, that's because the tackles got annihilated in front of him in that Atlanta game. It turned around. There's no coincidence that the linebacking core played very well in that game against the Saints because the 2 guys up front were killing people.
That's right.
Are you buying it? He's leading the NFL in solo tackles right now, Zach Bond. Are you buying him? And, Gary, here's the hidden secret that people aren't looking at. Vic put him in a 52, a 61, a 34, a 43, and he fit into every one of those fronts. Mm-hmm. His versatility on him being able to use him in all those fronts.
Yeah.
Man, I got to tell you, that's pretty impressive.
I mean, the guy's a linebacker, and see, when I look at a linebacker, I mean, I'm telling you, because when playing the position, you just got to have a feel for the game to where it's almost like they could drop you in the middle like of a desert or a forest, like the Army guys, But a lot of stuff is just instinctive. Either a guy has it or he doesn't. Meaning that when that ball goes that way, you got to know whether should I go which side I should go in pursuit of the ball. He's got that feel. So that's a linebacker. I mean, and he's got the feel for the game like that. And that is really the number one quality of a linebacker, a guy that makes a lot of plays. Because if you're not making a lot of plays, you don't need to be playing the position, and it shows up right away. Because a lot of the things are instinctive. How does the guy go in order to be the guy that makes this tackle? And you can see he makes a lot of plays. That's something you can't go by. You can't train the guy that is either he's got it or he doesn't. And he has that. He has that instinct for going and making plays.
Gary, a coach has a 667 win percentage, and I'll ask you the question. When you see Nick Sirianni, do you see a Super Bowl championship coach?
Yeah, you know what?
Do you?
No, I wouldn't say, I think he can win it. I mean, look how close they came. So I think he can, but what he's got to do is don't try to impress people, man. Stop that. I mean,
you got the job. You got the job. Stop.
Dude.
You got the job.
And I feel like he's trying to impress everybody. Dude, stop that. Coach solid football, man. Come on, man. Kick the field goal. Stop it with the nonsense. And if you need if he's got some little card over there, he's looking, rip that up.
Rip that card up. Hey, have Don slap it out of your hand. Do something, man.
That's right. Or have him slap him.
Yeah.
So he
oh my God, that would be. Hey, wait, can you imagine Howie and Jeffrey Lurie going, hey, the next time he passes up on a field goal, tell Big Don to go over there and slap the shit out of him.
That's right. Hey, play solid football, and again, I go back to the thing before a game when you got key players missing. We want to win this game. We don't care how ugly this game is. We're not going to score 40 points. Let's win this game. We're going to play smart football. Come on, man.
I got you. Gary, great stuff.
You know what? Some of that was so bad, man. I might not even let him on the plane, man. Golly.
Hey, you're taking a Greyhound home.
Hey, let him go on there. Like, how many hours? Put him on the Greyhound.
I'm getting you an Uber. You ain't going back. Hey, you ain't going back on the team plane because I don't want you around them guys. I'm gonna put you in an Uber.
I could not
send you home in an Uber.
I could not believe what he was doing.
I know, man. And you know what? He can't justify it.
No way he could justify it.
Can you could actually say, Gary, in the first 3 weeks, the worst part of the game has been Nick Sirianni. First 3 weeks.
Hey, dude, and you know what? Stop trying to impress people, man. Stop the nonsense. Come on, stop the nonsense.
Hey, Gary, get him a Greyhound, and then you get a couple card drinks. They got a bar in the back usually in them new Greyhounds. You get yourself like what's a good white guy drink? Let me think.
Hey,
a rum and Coke.
Hey, yeah,
get him a rum and Coke.
They put him on that Greyhound with the hopes that he doesn't arrive in time for the next game.
No, they drop him off in Paramus. Hey, Gary, hey, where's Nick? He's in Paramus. Hey, Gary, thank you, my friend. Don't forget to catch our friend at Fox 29. Thank you, Gary.
Have a good one.
You got it, man. Yeah, how come? What happened to Nick? Yeah, he's in Paramus or New Brunswick. There you go, Yale. He's in New Brunswick. Hey, look at MG, too. I'm looking for a good white guy drink. He goes, how about a Fireball, Seals? An IPA. I hate IPAs. A vermouth. A Forte. Forte with something funny, finally. That is totally a white guy drink. Hey, can I have a vermouth? Hey, wait a minute. Can I have a martini with a green olive? I'm Italian also. I'm going to take the green olive versus the black olive. I got to take the green olive because, we're Italian, so we go green. I don't know. Nothing against the black olive because I like black olives. So I don't know. Wait a minute. Maybe I'll how about, because I want to be politically correct, I'll have a black olive and a olive. Yeah, a green olive. Is that cool? No Tom Collins. No, Big Sills don't drink Tom Collins, Jr. Tom Collins ain't working. Not happening. Bourbon. That's a total white guy drink. Crown Royal. Hey, MG, right? Yeah, MG, I think I have to, because we want to be politically correct here on the show, we'll have a green olive and a black olive. I don't know about a martini, though. An Arnold Palmer. Hey, you're going to find this weird. I actually like Arnold Palmers. Dad's Go Sills. Did you see what I posted from the Saints game? I'm not sure I did. Look at Yale of Bombay. All right, I'm going to reset this bad puppy here. Where are we? Bloody Mary. Oh, where are we on the like list right now? Roy Rogers. You guys are stupid funny. You guys have been great today, man. Where are we on the like list, guys? Your super chats have been sensational today. Gin and tonic. I actually used to drink them weirdo drinks. Yeah. 459. Thank you, Jack. Hey, guys, do you think we could get to 500? Wouldn't that be great to start the week off with 500 likes? 470. We got 30 likes to go in the final hour. 500 likes from you guys. Knowing some of you, there's probably 470 dislikes as well. Look at Kyle. I want 600. All right, let's hit that bad puppy. We'll reset. Also, we will look at week 3 of the National Football Week there too. There were some performances that were great, some that weren't. Got a ton of stuff to hit on here. Please hit the like button. Keep it here, National Football Show.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Score and save in Southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, Birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer 3 major services, the first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Heading down the shore. Have a ball once more.
Here, imaginations run wild and time stands still. Because here, you can find the best of the Jersey Shore, all on one 5-mile island. So leave the old you behind and get lost in the woods.
Wild, wild, wildwood.
Plan your stay in the Wildwoods today.
EAGLES. Eagles.
So let me get this right. We're like 3 likes away right now from 500. Killed it. UMFers killed it today. Absolutely. There's a shot at 550. I don't believe you're that good to get to 600, but I think that's insane great. Boy, I tell you what, man. That's why Big Sills doesn't root for losses here. That's not what we're doing. It's not what we're doing here. 2 more to 500, on our way to potentially to 600 here. We'll take a look at week 3 of the National Football League here in a second. Want to reset a little bit here, too, and how we opened the program. 18-15, you get the win. One of the tougher places to play. Vic Fangio completely outcoached Clint Kubiak. Nick Sirianni should not be a head football coach in the National Football League. Zander gave Jalen Hurts the player of the game, or one of them. Me, I think he's got a lot of room to grow. But where I think his biggest improvement was, he made other players around him better. Players that weren't stars. That was a significant thing for me that stood out. Dallas Goedert hadn't been a star in a year and a half. Okay? They relied on a run game with Barkley, who's the best player in the NFL right now after 3 weeks. Okay? He spread the ball around. I thought he was better spreading the ball around in the fourth quarter when Devontae Smith got knocked out. Thought he was better. Congratulations, guys. I appreciate you being over 500 likes. Thank you. It means a lot to all of us. Plus all the super chats we had today. Absolutely a stupid, huge show today. You guys were absolutely fabulous here. We'll once again just go over some of the things that we saw in the game, the takeaways. Jalen Carter was sensational. Okay? Yo, Sills, can you give the JAKIB Sports post-game show a like, please? I sure will. I thought I did. I make sure I totally do. Here, let me do that right now. Really? I didn't do that? That's not that. I did already. I did that. Oh, the post. Yes, I'll do that. I will. Absolutely, I will. He's talking about the post game for the fans. Absolutely. Yes, I will. Yes, I will, my friend. Yes, I will. Of course. I ask you. Okay? Look at Grok. Dan fighting for 600 likes. New Heights hits 15,000. Hey, Grok. It's just little Sills here. And yes, Grok, I do appreciate what people give me. Do I have 15,000? No. But that's okay. Our little world, I'm good with it. People come here to hear our truth. It's okay. By the way, I'm very proud of how we're building this. We'll get to where we want to be one day. Okay? Things take time. I've only done this kind of stuff for about 4 years now. I've never done it before. And I don't have the Eagles as a platform because the Eagles can't stand us. That's all right. Keep doubting us like you doubt Jalen. It's all good. I invite it. The entire NFL. What a dumb comparison. I know. That guy's the number one podcast in the National Football League when it comes to everyone with players. And he's picking on me with the number one podcast out there. Okay. You're right. Thank you for naming me second. Get this. The biggest podcast. He reached for the big. Get this here. I mean, you know how I tell you guys all the time? Do you know how I tell you guys all the time? Don't compare Jalen to Zach Wilson. He just compared us to New Heights. Those guys get 15,000. Silly. Okay. We'll get there one day. How you doing? I'll actually take that as a merit badge. All right. Thank you, Brian. Hey, Brian, thanks for being here. Flex, thanks for being here. Yale, you too, brother. Raj, Charlie. Keep doubting all of us. Gabe. Even that dumbass Prince. Joho! Look at Joho, still talking shit to me here. Okay? Josh Allen. You want to see a quarterback, a real quarterback? Will be on display tonight. JAKIB Nation is the best. I think it is too, man. Look at Yale. Tell you what, Yale don't agree with me all the time. Rome wasn't built. That's right. Hey, dude. Hey, I'll tell you who is one of my biggest fighters and fights the haters on me. Is this guy right here. Just like Barkley has TNT, I got JAKIB fighting for me. Or I'd be canceled. You know how much pressure they have had to fire me? Enough of that. Let's do this. This is more important. Some guy comparing me to New Heights. Okay. How you doing, MG? Okay. Let's see here. Seals, let's see. We're going to make sure you don't get canceled. Oh, man. Mac. Where's Mac? Where's this guy? That was a good take there. Thank you, brother. Okay. Sills, you said I'm doubting y'all. No. I didn't say you. They're doubting us. James Jones. Fuck Sills. Fucking Sills. Oh, I got it. I got you, brother. I got it. In your biz, that means you're doing a great job. You guys are getting it. Because the Eagles get mad at me and because people are mad at me for thanking you guys for getting us all the likes so that more people will watch it. They're mad at me for that. Of course they are. They don't want this shit. Dude, I promise you guys. One thing, I promise last thing. They do not want this show to get bigger. They are doing everything in their power. I will guarantee you one thing. By the end of the year, there'll be bad articles written about me or regurgitated articles about me by the end of the year. Want to bet? Remember I said that. Josh Newton tonight versus the Jags. It's all about Buffalo. Josh Newton. Well, Cam won the MVP award. Took a team to the Super Bowl. I mean, Josh Allen, what a quarterback. What a quarterback. You want to see a real quarterback? You watch that guy tonight. Okay? Love that guy. Best quarterback in the NFL next to Mahomes. Okay, here we go. Jalen Carter, spectacular. Was spectacular. Dominant. Point of attack. Technically sound. Everything he did, he was spectacular. Dallas Goedert was amazing also. He was a superstar in that game. 10 catches, 170. Zach Bond, man, unbelievable what they did with him. The versatility he showed in that game was a great performance by the defense. Vic Fangio did a great job. Should take a bow. Saquon Barkley is the best player in the National Football League after 3 weeks. He's the best player in the NFL. I mean, some of you could say Sam Darnold. Okay. Quarterback position is probably more important. Darnold's 3-0. He's been playing great ball. But boy, Saquon Barkley has been spectacular. You have the worst head football coach at decision-making since Brandon Staley and Nick Sirianni. You should start calling him Brandon Sirianni. Injuries are going to play a factor here. They are. And I got to say this. Here's another thing on Nick. Today at the press conference, I haven't listened to it. Zander says, wow, are you going to go crazy on this thing here? So obviously I'll break this thing down for tomorrow, but here was a someone sent this to me. Dave Zangaro posted this. Nick Sirianni declines to go into depth about his decision on fourth downs, other than to say they are made because he thinks it's what's best for the team at the time. Every decision he's made has been wrong. That guy is a decision maker for the Eagles in critical moments. So he overrides Kellen Moore. Every decision that he has made has vetoed Kellen Moore. Remember I asked you the relationship between Kellen Moore and Nick Sirianni, how was that going to be? After 3 games, how do you think that relationship's going? Let me ask M. Reyes. M. Reyes, do you think Nick Sirianni's a good coach and good decision maker? Here's the ultimate Eagle fanboy. See what he says. M. Reyes, is Nick Sirianni a great coach? Yes or no? Not here. Not all the time, but enough to get the job done. So you got an average coach in there coaching great talent? Sounds right. Here's M. Reyes' own words. He's not a great coach all the time, but he's good enough to get the job done. Is that who you want to be the head football coach of your team? A guy who's kind of good sometimes, and he kind of gets the job done. Hey, I'm glad he's not a pilot. Hey, seriously, M. Reyes, thank God Nick Sirianni's not a pilot. Hey, do you think Nick Sirianni's a good pilot? Not all the time, but he kind of gets the job done. I mean, he kind of gets the job done. Jesus criminy. And thank God he's not a brain surgeon. Hey, do you want Nick Sirianni as your brain surgeon? Not all the time, but enough to he gets the job done. Jesus criminy, man. Hey, thank God he doesn't drive one of those cruise ships either. Hey, James Jones, are you hearing this? Hey, my coach ain't good all the time, but he kind of gets the job done. So if you're on a boat with him, and thank God he wasn't on the boat with Columbus and he was his captain. He's kind of a good captain. He knows kind of where he's going sometimes. But he gets the job done sometimes. I'm good. Holy shit. M. Reyes would be driving around and circling, and he'd have one oar in the water, and the boat would be going in a circle. They'd have to throw his ass off. There's no land. Is that your captain? Yeah, my captain is M. Reyes. Why? Well, he's not a great captain all the time, but, he kind of gets the job done. That's not who I'm looking for to discover the new world. I got to love M. Reyes, man. Hey, he can be good sometimes, but who gives a shit? He doesn't have to be good all the time. My coach doesn't have to be good all the time. He can be good sometimes. What the hell? Critical situations when you need him, fuck it. He can be good sometimes. Yeah, right. Oh, my God. Holy cow. Yeah, seriously, man. Nick's the guy that sits on the guy's lap, and Jeffrey and Howie got both their hands up his pants. And, they got one hand on each nut, and they're going like this. We want offense. We want more offense. Squeezing them couillons. These guys got, Nick Sirianni has 2 pairs of hands on his couillons. One is the owner and one is the GM. Holding one and going, go for it. And the other one is John McMullen. Don't go for it. Oh, my God. Here, look. Howie, Jeffrey. Nick's couillons. Right before a game. They clamp on there like they're blue shell crabs from Maryland. They hang on there, man, and they're hanging on to them couillons. And they got this guy by the couillons. He has to make a big-time decision, 4th and 1. One guy will squeeze harder. He tilts to the right. Hey, we're going to run the stretch play. Holy cow. That's how he coaches. Just like this. They got a pair right there, right there, and right there. That's how they coach. Shit, man. Nick don't know what to do. He's walking around and he's got 2 guys with a pair of hands on his nuts, and he's sitting there going, what do I do? Stretch play. Stretch play. Stretch play. Stretch play. Yeah. Holy cow. Hey, if you want to be the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, just remember, it comes with the owner and the GM having their hands on your nuts, because you ain't going to coach any other way. Woo! No way. Hey, make a play. Sirianni. And look at Niner. A good Catholic guy right here. Jesus Criminy. Nicely done. That's right. Jesus Criminy. Hey, what do you think about Sirianni trying to discipline Carter at the end of the game? For what they don't, for what? They don't respect you. That's why he didn't stop. You see Nick? Jalen Carter was making a total ass out of himself, but I kind of have to now agree with Zander a little bit. Okay. Plus, I'm sure the players were a little pissed at that hit on Devontae. And hitting Devontae like that, I'm sure they were a little bit upset with the dirty play out there that was going on. So they probably had their energy up. It was a hard-hitting game, and it was a physical ball game. And so, plus he had been told he sucked all week. And so he probably got really aggravated. And I don't, let's not do that again. However, there was Nick Folen. Hey, act decently. Who are you? I forget. What's your name again? Don't you have an office down there, the janitor? Oh, yeah, you're the head coach? I forgot. I heard Clint. Hey, by the way, I got a text message finally from Clint. Supposedly, he got in their ass all week. He was hollering at everybody. He was in their ass. Supposedly, he was really hollering at them, especially in team meetings. He was hollering at Carter and Davis. Okay, so I said, what'd you say? He goes, remember when Butch used to holler? I go, yeah. He goes, it was kind of like that. I was like, all right. He goes, you come in there and you start just saying you're not good enough and not doing this. I'll replace your ass. That kind of shit. That kind of stuff. Supposedly what was said, one of them. I don't know if Clint said this. Don't quote me. I don't know. He goes, hey, that guy drafted 2 DTs. He'll draft 2 more. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Hey, he'll draft 2 more DTs. He'll go right back in there and draft 2 more. I said, get out. He goes, let me convey a message to you. You don't pick it up, they'll draft 2 more. Hey, Jordan, they already think you're a bust. Hey, by the way, ain't you coming up in a contract year next year? Jordan's like, try throwing money at him. You want to be here or no? It was that kind of shit. Hey, man, you're at a crossroads. I can't help you. You got to help yourself. I'm like, whoa. So you're throwing money, job security after him. That's the first time I ever heard that in that building. That job security and money was being thrown around all week. Hey, you want to be here? And the other guy is, you're not exactly what we drafted. First 3 weeks of the season, 2 weeks. I'm going. He goes, that's why they were pissed off all week. He goes, I heard what you said. I saw your tweet too. Georgia boys don't want to talk to the media because they're playing like shit. He goes, that's why I didn't text you. So they started throwing job security around. Hey, Jordan, you want to be here? got a contract year coming up, right? You don't show up, you ain't going to be in the building much longer. I can't help you. You don't want to hear that. You do not want to hear that. In a building that doesn't talk like that, you don't want to hear that. Those guys went out there pissed off. Okay? And they played like it. They played like they were pissed off. Good. Can they keep that same motivation week in and week out? That's right, Nell. 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 In the NFL, when a coach comes up to you and goes, that's not good enough. You keep having games like this, we're going to replace you. Yeah. That's real life football. Not that pampering stuff. I'm sure. Hey, can you imagine going to Bryce Huff? Hey, Bryce Huff, you're not playing the amount of reps you thought you were going to play. You're not good enough. Yeah, but I'm making $17 million. Not for long. We're going to trade your ass at the end of the season. They'll do everything they can to get out from that contract. The less plays that Bryce Huff plays, the less chances he has of being on this team next year. You can't have a 36-year-old defensive end having more reps than you. The Eagles will take half that salary he makes and eat it and trade him someplace. Because he's got a 3-year contract they gave him. I don't know what the outs are in the contract. Would they take a salary cap hit on him? He's not worthy of the contract he signed. 3-year contract? You see why the Jets let him walk? They knew he was that guy. The Jets were never sold he was an elite pass rusher. Whoever said he was? Well, PFF numbers say it. Do you ever remember people going, hey, the elite pass rushers in the NFL, Bryce Huff's name was in there? I don't remember that. Right, I see Khalil Mack's name in here. Khalil Mack, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Max Crosby, Bryce Huff. I'm sorry, I don't remember that name in that group. I don't remember. Reddick, too. I don't remember that name in that group. This guy had 6 sacks in one game, didn't he? He had 6 sacks in one game, so 4 were through the rest of the year. Is that right, how that was? So, supposedly, they had these big-time conversations with these guys. Like, hey, you got to play, man. Because what we're seeing so far, I mean, get this. Jalen Carter was so focused. I didn't recognize the guy when he was putting his hands inside, lining up in a 3 technique, lining up in a 2 and a 1, slanting, holding off the guy, throwing guys under. I didn't recognize him. It was a complete polar opposite from the first 2 weeks. I mean, the guy was on roller skates in week 2. I mean, I didn't see it. But he was technically flawless in that Saints game. He was flawless. Hey, you imagine this? Get your shit. I have a problem a little bit with that, though. Zander, right? I have a problem having to, hey, you're a professional football player. Act like it. Should I have to tell you that? You're the 9th pick in the draft. You got the talent to be one of the best interior defensive tackles in the league. Do I really have to remind you of that? I have a problem with that self-motivation stuff. Jordan Davis is such an absolute, hard guy to coach. He's so hit or miss. You see the talent he has, but he doesn't apply it. He's a frustrating guy to coach. It's frustrating. The Saints must have Greg Williams back. They used to put bounties on people's head. It sure looked like a bounty game. That's the first thing that crossed my mind. I thought it looked like a bounty game. Okay? Jerome Brown was immature. First year. Second year, he wasn't. He was immature off the field. He was reckless. I say that with due respect. We all were. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Jerome was. Yes. Okay. I mean, so, Seals, do you think Carter has the same mentality of Sue when he came? Adamik Sue was man ready. I mean, Denny, Dominic Sue and Fletcher Cox, I always thought Dominic Sue was the more dominant player. But when you put the numbers next to one another, they're pretty compatible and pretty comparable when it came to the type of players they were. I think personally Fletcher Cox was a little bit more consistent because he played with one team. But Dominic Sue early in his career, I think his first year he had 10 sacks with Detroit from the interior. I think he was Rookie of the Year. He's I believe he's going to get to the Hall of Fame. And if he gets to the Hall of Fame, there's a great argument that Fletcher could get into the Hall of Fame because the numbers are pretty compatible. Okay? Sills, was Barry Switzer a better coach than Nick Sirianni? Interesting question. No. But you know what Barry was? Barry was a leader. Barry was a leader. There was nothing you were going to say to him that he didn't have control of his team and his players. That was his team. And that was his attitude. Barry Switzer was a coach that, was he an X&O guys? No. But I'll tell you what he did do. That football team was his. And it was his way or the highway. And nobody was telling him how to run his team. Arguably one of the most successful coaches of all time. Hired assistant coaches, all the great coordinators. You couldn't tell Barry Switzer shit. That was his team, and he was going to win. Winner of 4 national titles. He was not, and a Super Bowl. And when he got to Dallas, Jimmy, he just said this, I'm not fucking what Jimmy did here. I'm not fucking it up. And that's how he won a Super Bowl. He goes, why would I screw it up? Why would I add anything? You want to hear the only thing he added was Mike Zimmer to the secondary. That was the only thing he added to that football team was Mike Zimmer. He put him in the secondary. Okay? Just a really great leader of men. Barry Switzer. Absolutely. Let's look at week 3 of the NFL. Some telling things. By the way, who would have thought when you look at the NFC now, what is it? Vikings? Seattle? Anybody else undefeated? No. And you got San Francisco 1-2. It's wide open. Steelers unbeaten. Kansas City. Buffalo, if they win tonight. Right? This thing's wide open. Colts, victory over the Bears. Let's say this. Jonathan Taylor, by the way, 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Colts are now 1-2. Bears 1-2. Caleb Williams is struggling mightily. I mean, let me ask you this. Do you think the Bears are happy they drafted Caleb Williams and let Justin Fields go, who's unbeaten right now? You're getting double whammied in Chicago. The guy you quit on is undefeated with the Steelers. And the guy you drafted looks like the worst quarterback that's been drafted in a bit. You're getting hammered twice here. Think about it. I mean, not that Fields is killing anything, but he's got a 117 quarterback rating. And do I think he's solidified himself with that job? Not yet, because he's not really making a ton of plays. I think they got 7 passing touchdowns. That's not going to cut it. Maybe it might be less than that. But if you're Chicago, you imagine you're the Chicago Bear organization right now. Hey, Yale, I'd like to be the Chicago Bear organization. And you got to look at the owner and you got to look at the Hallises and go, yeah, we let up on Justin Fields and we signed this guy. And you're worse now. And that guy's in Pittsburgh unbeaten. Hey, I don't know who's more in the doghouse, Matt Eberflus or Joe Schoenen. You know, Zander and John are not wrong about Saquon Barkley. But I'm going to do this. Damn. You may not be wrong, guys, but it sure looks shitty. But Barkley looks like the best player in the league. And you let that guy go, hey, I won't sleep if he goes to Philly. Well, shit, John Maher, he ain't sleeping very well. There's no chance. Because Saquon Barkley for 3 weeks has been the best player in the league. I mean, dude, it's not that he's killing it. Hey, has Barkley been good? No, he's been sensational. He's been sensational. 21-16. Denver goes into the Eagles' next opponent, Raymond James, and whoops up on the Buccaneers 26-7. Mayfield 25-33, 163, a TD and a pick. Bo Nix, not awful. Defense looked really good in that game for Denver. Stepped up in that. By the way, guys, let me know how many likes we're at right now. How close are we to 550 here? You guys have been killing it, and I can't thank you enough. Hey. Matt LaFleur is the coach of the year. 529. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. 21 away from 550. Great, guys. Hey, Matt LaFleur is the coach of the year. Him or the guy up in Minnesota. Holy piss. I mean, they're 2-1. Green Bay looks great. And get this. What is it? Malik Willis? Was it Malik Willis in Tennessee? So Malik Willis goes back to Tennessee. He goes 13-19 for 202, a touchdown, and he looks like he's been playing the position forever. I mean, there's another guy. Who the hell is Malik Willis? Wow, did he look great in that game. And they're going to guess who they're playing? They're playing Minnesota this weekend, and they're getting Jordan Love back. And they're going to be 2-1, getting Jordan Love back. Unbelievable. Hell of a coaching job by the Green Bay Packers. Matt LaFleur, 30-14. They annihilated Tennessee. Not that Tennessee's anything to write home about here. Minnesota destroyed the Houston Texans. Shocker. Sam Darnold, 4 touchdowns, 12 of 28 for 181 and 4 touchdowns. Hey, did anybody hear what the MRI was today on Sam Darnold? If he's going to miss the game this weekend? Because he went in for an MRI this morning. Supposedly that they were going to release some of the results on if he was going to be able to go this weekend, because that'll be a gigantic game. Minnesota Green Bay's this weekend, by the way. Okay? He's going to be a game. Brian says he's going to be a game day decision. Unbelievable. Comeback player of the year has got to be Sam Darnold. Unbelievable. Pittsburgh 3-0. Beat the Chargers 20-10. Justin Fields 25 of 32, 245, touchdown and a pick. He's playing good ball, man. He's playing good ball. Sills, they said just a bruise. 537, brother. Thank you, Ken. Man, you guys are killing it. Thank you so much, man. Trying to get to 550. It'd be pretty good, huh, Zander? Almost 600 likes today. Way to start a football Monday off here, man, on JAKIB here on the National Football Show. Thank you. Mean it. All the super chats, too? Good night. Oh, and not quite new heights. Yeah. The New York Giants. How about this one? 21-15. Dimes Jones outplays Deshaun Watson. Hey, let's do it. That Deshaun Watson move looks horrible. 24-36, 236, and 2 touchdowns for Daniel Jones. Hey, you think they could use Barkley? Dimes Jones. You think they could use Saquon? Carolina, the greatness of Andy Dalton goes in. Andy Dalton is sitting there, all red. Big Red sitting there. Take it over. 26-37, 319 and 3 touchdowns. Bryce Young's looking at it going like this. Good night. Andy Walk-On Dalton walks into Carolina and crushes the Raiders, who had beaten Baltimore the week prior. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Hey, tell me who I am. How can you play? How could I play a guy that's really soft? No, I can't do that. Okay, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want anyone to say anything like that. How can I play a guy soft? Who's the softest person I can think of? Let me think. The softest person, Jesse Smollett. Okay, here it is. You ready? Jesse Smollett. The Miami Dolphins are the Jesse Smollett of football teams. Okay? The softest person I can think of is Jesse Smollett. Ben Simmons is good. Bob Lang is outstanding, actually. Seattle beat him up 24-3. Okay. Will Smith beating up on little guys. Is that your point? Richard said, no, God, no, not going there. Nope. Okay. Pee-wee. Hey, Pee-wee was a freak, man, so you got to leave him alone. Nolan Smith. That's a good one. No, wait a minute. Here's the better one. The Miami Dolphins are the Bryce Huff of the NFL. They're soft. Bryce Huff. Hey, between Bryce Huff and Nolan Smith, do you have a man? Oh, man, it's the low blow. It's a low blow. It's a low blow. Hey, that's a low blow. That's low blow. Yeah, I'll take that on the chin. That's a little too. Samuel, what the fuck are you saying? Sills, we got to do it organically with no Taylor Swift. Okay, Skip Bayless. He's a phony tough guy. Yeah. I could do so many good soft guys. I think I get in trouble for that. Oh, man. Let's move on. I'm not going to contemplate this one here because the more I think, the more I get in trouble. Right, Betty Ann? So we'll just leave it alone. We'll leave that one alone there. All right. All right. Baltimore over Dallas. Oh, hey, Mark Holmes, I know you watch the show. Do you know what you guys resemble? A doormat. The Dallas Cowboy defense is like a turnstile at Wells Fargo. Hey, just come on in. Come on. Remember I told you they couldn't stop the run? Mozzie Smith sucks. Okay? Sucks. The Dallas Cowboys run defense is atrocious. I get this. I'll take the Eagle run defense any day over the Dallas Cowboys will never stop anybody. Never. The Dallas Cowboys will never. Hey, hey, the Dallas Cowboys look like a P. Diddy party after 3. It's a free-for-all. Oh, man. Another low blow. Oh, my God. That's what it is. The Cowboy defense looks like a P. Diddy party after 3. It's a free-for-all. Detroit does a nice job against Arizona. 20-13. Arizona's a good team. They fall to 1-2. Detroit's now 2-1. Rams. Told you, man. Sean McVay has an absolute great game, always, and a great game plan against Kyle Shanahan. They took that game from that 49er team. I know there's a lot of injuries there, but that was a well-designed game, 27-24. That Kansas City-Atlanta game was outstanding. That was a really good football game, man. And Kansas City, isn't it funny? Kansas City finds a way to win. Some of you go like this. Mahomes didn't play well, and he found a way to win, just like Jalen. Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. That is like comparing Nate Sudfeld to Tom Brady. Right? Senor goes like this. The refs don't call PI on the Chiefs. Yeah, because he gets the benefit of the doubt. Bruce, Patrick Mahomes is going to get the benefit of the doubt. What are you, crazy? Jacksonville versus Josh Allen tonight in Washington, Cincinnati. I'm going to take a timeout and I'll come back and I'll preview these. Where are we on the like list, guys? Guys have had a great day. Great day. Kansas City, I'm starting to think they're going to three-peat. It's too early, though, but Josh Allen will lose tonight. Yeah, you're only hoping. I know. Look at this. 5:43. Have a great shot at 5:50. That would be an unbelievable first day to kick us into the week. Hit the like button, guys. Keep it here, National Football Show.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Score and save in southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer three major services. The first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Heading down the shore. Have a ball once more.
Here, imaginations run wild and time stands still. Because here, you can find the best of the Jersey Shore, all on one 5-mile island. So leave the old you behind and get lost in the woods.
Wild, wild, wildwood.
Plan your stay in the Wildwoods today.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Big Sills National Football Show. Please hit the like button. You guys are just a couple away from 550. Derrick Henry carried the whole Dallas Cowboy team to a first down. Another 1,500-yard season coming for Henry. Whew, man, that dude was a monster. What did he get in that game? How much did he get? Like 100 and – what did Derrick Henry roll for in that game? I mean, he beat them up. Was it a 144? Did he go for some shit like that? I mean, he rolled them, man. I'll tell you this. How about this with Cousins on Sunday night? Kirk Cousins matches Dan Marino as the fourth fastest player in NFL history to 40,000 passing yards. You say whatever you want about Kirk Cousins. You tie Dan Marino for the fourth most and fastest to 40,000 passing yards. That guy ever bumped into a Super Bowl, you'd be talking about a potential Hall of Fame guy. He's going to have enormous numbers when everything is said and done. I mean, he's going to be a 60,000-plus yard passer. I mean, that guy's cooking right now. And after the first game, everybody was getting ready to throw fire and dirt on him and burn his name in effigy. And this guy has now played really great ball the last couple weeks, and he looks spectacular. We'll look at tonight's games here in a second, but I want to throw this stat at you here. Quinyon Mitchell was 3 for 5 with 29 yards thrown against him. He had a rating of 64.6. One of the better corners over the weekend. Slay's just not getting a lot of reps over there for whatever reason. I think that's a lot to do with respect and also his reputation. 1 of 2, 9 yards, 53.9, but Quinyon Mitchell's playing really great football. And it looks like he fits. You know what I'm saying? It looks like he fits. Okay? Looks like he fits. That is a nice compliment. Hey, Jacob can't put it on any longer. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Hey, no, don't give him any more ideas. All right, don't give him any more ideas. Okay, okay. Don't give him any more ideas here, guys. Keep hitting the like button. We're almost at 550, and I'd really appreciate that. Tonight's games: Jacksonville at Buffalo. The two highest paid quarterbacks are on display tonight because it's a doubleheader. Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, and Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence. These two dudes, man. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has got to show up now. He's got to win. And you're doing it against Josh Allen. You've got to win that game. You're being paid $55 million to beat Josh Allen. This is why you're being paid this. Josh Allen, they let go of Stephon Diggs because they believe you can carry the mail. This, to me, tonight, Jacksonville has some pretty good football teams, or players, I should say, and a good coach. If the Jags fall, tell you what, man, Doug's got to be on. He's got to be on the hot seat a little bit here. And if Josh Allen wins, Josh Allen will be 3-0 with nothing on that team, really. Be quite an accomplishment for him. So, Zander, I got Buffalo winning tonight. 28-21. Josh Allen. 315 yards total offense tonight. So as we just hit 550. Great, guys. Thank you. Fantastic. Okay. Thank you, guys. 28-21. Buffalo Bills. Washington at Cincinnati. James Jones, are you in here? What do you got, James? Thank you, Maxon. James, what do you got if you're still in here? I've got James, what do you got tonight? You're going to love this, James. Washington. 27. Cincinnati. 21. Upset. Washington wins over Cincinnati on the road. I got Buffalo. I got the Commanders winning. And I have the Buffalo Bills winning tonight. I'm riding with you, James. I'm riding with you, man. All right, guys. Look at this, Forrest. Is praying for Josh Allen to throw 4 picks. Throws 4 picks. Well, do good. He'll match your guy's number. Because that's what he has this year. So get this. If Josh Allen throws 4 picks, he could do it in 1 game. What your guy's done in 3 games. All right. There you go. How you doing? How you doing? All right. Guys, electric. Guys were fantastic. I can't thank you enough. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Really a great way to kick the week off. You guys mauled it on the pre and post game show. Thank you guys again. Please hit the like button. Should be a great football tonight. Make sure you check out Bet US. We so appreciate them powering 4 hours of the football show. Thank you guys again. Zander, Joe, 2 to 6 tomorrow Eastern time, and we shall see you on the flip side.